That is what I'm talking about. Welcome, everybody. Welcome as day 3 continues. It is day 3 of ArvCon 2023. And I do want to thank everybody because, as you will note, I can't even keep up with it. It was even more than I said. We are now up to 2240. 2240. I was hoping we'd be over 2200 by the time we started this session today, and we are in fact over that amount. And the reason for that is because you are all amazing people. Thank you so much for the continued support. I love the little conversation we just had with the scientists. That's always something I really look forward to. And I'm also obviously looking forward to this session today, Ghosts of Saltmarsh, because we got a lot going on in this session. And I want to remind everybody why we're here. It is, of course, to benefit the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation. We are sitting at 2240 as we begin our session, and I'm going to, when I introduce them in just a moment, talk about that part of things. But I know a lot of you have favorites in campaigns that you watch. A lot of you love this campaign. Many of you love Eberron the most. Some of you love Shire Adventures the most. Some of love Expedition that we had last night the most, or obviously Community D&D is often a fan favorite with Dragon of Icespire Peak. So we have all different sessions and games that people really love and enjoy playing and love to watch. And so you're going to get a chance to get just about all of them except for Talisman Adventures, which we run over on GOG.com's Twitch channel, just about all of them. But we are going to get just about all of them, including this one today. So remember, ! Donate to be able to get a part of this. And remember also for this drawing gray stick. So remember, as Emily has posted right before the concert, one winner is going to be drawn from anyone who donated at least $1 to receive a printed signed gray stick, which is the Angsty Assassin on the Roof comic, written and illustrated by E.D.E. Bell on a theme of the winner's choice. You have to be in chat at the time of the drawing to win, and I will reveal this comic at the start of Tuesday's regular stream. Thank you for the follow, Len923. I really enjoy that. The gray stick is actually a lot of fun, and it's a funny little alter ego-ish almost of Gray Shade, which I always really appreciate, so it's always a lot of fun. And you will definitely want to be a part of that. Also, the top donators are going to win prizes. The top donors, as Triffid has reminded me, top donors are going to win things. And in addition to that, anyone donating will lead us to another giveaway. And I think our next giveaway, mods, is at 2300, right? It's at 2300, I believe, is when our next giveaway is, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that is the case. Yeah, it's the Spider Ham of the Gray Shade Cinematic Universe. That is, Emily, that needs to be the blurb for Gray Stick. The Spider Ham of the Gray Shade Cinematic Universe. That is the best. Oh my God. It's a 2400. Okay, so we're 160 away from getting that next giveaway. Oh my God, that is the best. The Spider Ham of the Gray Shade Cinematic Universe. I'm really pumped up for the next Into the Spider-Verse movie coming soon. I really love that first movie. All right, also, one of the greatest scenes of all recorded time on film is in that animated film when Miles finally gets full effect of his powers. Thank you, Effect Life. Still eating. I'll be there later. 25 months. Thank you so much, Effect Life. Thank you, everybody. Okay, you know what, Arudinel? I loved it. It's a thing that, despite how like confused in a way that it feels like it ought to be overwhelming and confusing, but it's wonderfully storyboarded. It's wonderfully animated. It's really one of the best animated films I've ever seen. It's incredible. It really is great. Did you hear what you said about the giveaway? No. If someone has a conflict, please have them message me. People should be present to win, but I don't want to exclude people who can't. Okay. Right. So if you can't make it, please let us know one way or the other. Yeah, but this is different, though, Arudinel. I totally understand that you're not into that Marvel stuff. This is different, though. There's a totally different energy and vibe to it. And it's Miles Morales. It's a lovely story. And it's not... you can do what you like, but Centimine and I, Little Arv and I really loved it. Okay. With that said, though, I'm going to unmute myself because we are now ready to go. I apologize to anyone I interrupted. And I'm going to introduce to you your favorite coastal crew. I guess that's a good way to describe it. And that is the incredible Ghosts of Saltmarsh team for the second time ever, as an entire group, over on my channel in this respect. So I am very excited to have everyone here. You can see we are ready to go. I'm a huge fan of all these people. I'm sure they're relieved that we're actually starting at a time when they're not exhausted in bed because, oh my God, it's not 3 in the morning, Arv. Thank you. But we are here. Now, important before I introduce everybody so that they can all say things, as we all know, what really matters here more than anything else, the most critical element of what we're doing here is the ability for each group to win the Who Got the Most Money donation award. So we begin today at 2,240. Now, the current leader in the clubhouse is Expedition last night raised $1,001 in one session. So it is up to this crew to see if they can beat that. Now, to do that, it is 2,240. That means that we would need to get to, if I'm doing my math properly, 3,242 by the end of the session for them to take the lead. So the question is, can the incredibly gifted, skilled, GOG crew and also all Europeans, so can Europe defeat the rest of the world? I think that I have always felt Europe basically has defeated the rest of the world. I like Europe more than most other places. I'm just saying, okay, listen, the German may not want to cover her face this much, okay? It's a different kind of conquering the world. It's not that kind of conquering. Wow. Totally different conquering, okay? I'm not talking about that kind of conquering. Listen, okay.
It's gone weird.
I love that that's your reaction, and then meanwhile, everyone in the UK are like, yeah, okay, listen, we had that once, all right? That was back in the day, a long time ago, and anyway, so
it's not the proudest part of our history. Let's put it that way.
Well, you know what, Sharian, you should have waited. Yeah, no, you did. You gave us the 100 I was hoping for before we got started. So, so you were all cringing. Hey, listen, okay, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, conquer the hearts out of love, out of joy, all that sort of thing. Anyway, it is a great pleasure to have everyone here. I'm going to start with Pyron Jade. Pyron, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for the support of this event and the work you've done with GOG. We just got a few more codes that have been added to the mix, which are pretty awesome codes from GOG.com. So thank you. Yeah, now that, yes, I realize now there's just going to be nothing but strange, cringy jokes about World War II. I apologize, okay, for making any such reference. Pyron, it's good to see you. I hope all is well with you. How is life in the universe with you? And who are you playing in our adventure this afternoon?
Life in the universe is actually pretty okay, and the sun is shining outside, and I was in the garden, and I love my garden, so that's always a really good day if there's a little bit of time for the garden, and there was today. I'm not going there with the whole world domination.
Yeah, it was my bad. Long day. Been a long charity event.
But yeah, so of course I like playing with this group. I love playing with this group indeed, but it's also it's very important for me personally to take part in this event on a very personal note. Some of you might know that my mother died not that long ago of cancer, and there's also been a lot of cancer in my family. Like my, how do you say it? A great uncle died of it. My grandfather had it. My grandmother had it. My grand aunt died of it. And all of that. So all the advances in cancer research are very important to me in a very personal way as well, because my mother actually was able to take part in an experimental medication regime, which helped a lot and which gave her a lot of hope. So that was very awesome to see. And also it gave me the opportunity to have genetic testing to see whether all that cancer in my family has some kind of genetic thing that might put me or my kids then at risk. So getting that testing done and getting a really good result. Yay.
Yay.
So that
That's
was
good.
all these things that come out of research are making such a difference for so many people, and I'm really happy to take part today. And I'm taking part as waves crashing against rocks, or as her name is.
There you go.
This noise exactly. And who's a Kenko paladin, who is very attuned to the sea and the freedom that the sea gives her, and is currently a bit cross with the world in general because she was insulted badly 2 sessions ago. But it's not that long in game, just saying. And we're going on an adventure today. I think we're going to a mine, if I remember correctly.
And they call it a mine. A mine. Yes.
So, yeah. Also, it's a really weird time of the day to play D&D with you people. It's really weird. I've actually put down the blinds to make it dark because this is not right.
Right? Yeah, it's actually really sunny, and normally I have lots of light in my room, but I'm also trying to keep the temperature down a bit in here, and I don't want it to get like roasting. So I also everyone like, oh, there's sunlight outside. Tuesday I feel this way, but usually not so much elsewhere. We have a donation, which is that Len has donated $10.01. Yes, thank you. First of all, thank you for the donation. Secondly, the chaos has begun. One of the many things, we're going to get to another thing when we talk to Ananda, that will also be, I predict, a huge donation getter. It's kind of our ace in the hole, actually. We'll talk about that in a bit. But the other thing is the Operation Chaos business. So for all those of you who cannot stand seeing odd numbers, I just want to say $22.50 and 1 cent. So there's 1 cent out there, and it's just hanging out there like a little pencil mark you didn't erase properly. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens there. Thank you so much, Len, for the donations. Thank you to everyone for this. Jokes aside, I second everything Pyron said about the effect that it's had on my own family, which I've talked about on here. And so, yeah, this is important stuff. And I never feel more inspired than after talking to these scientists about the amazing work they're doing and then getting to play with people who are affected by the work that those scientists do. So thank you, Pyron. It's a pleasure to have you here. It's also a pleasure, of course, to have, as I drop down in the list here, the amazing Darksaber 2K, who we were just talking about what cosplay will look like for Morthwheel if events that we hope to plan come to fruition. We shall see. But it is good to see you as always, Saber. Thanks for being here as always, my friend. And how is life in the universe with you? And who are you playing on this? How many ArvCons have you done now? Saber, you and Pyron have both done like
been here every year since the first time we came on, which was when this all started.
I think 4 years ago. No, we did it longer.
Since we've been since at least a year maybe after I started with GOG, so it's gonna be like 6-7 years maybe.
Yeah.
Like anyway, a long time. Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, so we're right back here again where we all started. It was my first time playing D&D, and I had a great time, and I'm still here doing it because I really enjoy playing with folks. We have some great laughs, get good dramatic moments, some very good cliffhangers. So I'm always happy. And I will be playing Morthwheel Gagonians, a dwarven artificer who is joined up with the party to investigate the strange goings on in Saltmarsh and is currently in a mine.
Yes, we're about to see what that mine is. And Len, yes, I'm sorry, the comment are not coming through, but I did get it on here, which is if we can beat the current winner by 1 cent, that would please me thoroughly. Well, that's the plan. That's the plan. And instantaneously, Sharian donates again. Sharian with another $103.13 in addition to money done earlier. Sharian, thank you.
Oh my goodness.
2353.14. Can I also say, Sharian, that you realize you are now only not very much behind Chaotix for third place in the list, and the third place winner does get not 1 but 2 board games, including Vikings and Super Camelot. So if you want to be a part of that mix, you are heading in the right direction. I am super grateful. Also, I think Sharian's comment, which is that the Germans have gotten over the competitiveness, which is why we go to Eurovision only to finish last every year. I was like, okay, well then I believe that then. Thank you so much, Sharian. I really appreciate that. And good to see everyone else here. Maddie, good to see you. I know Maddie now personally in IRL, and Classic Or, good to see you as well. I'm very excited to see how Morthwill gets into things in a mine, as we see what happens down here. Moving on up to the top of the next column, we have the amazing person who's going to knock you out in an alley. I mean, Peripheral Mike is what I actually mean, who is cosplaying, obviously, his character beautifully as always. Mike, my friend, it is good to see you. Thank you for doing the amazing introduction video that was shown at the Klein, which I was told reliably by one prominent source was, and I quote, astonishingly good. And I was like, yeah, it is. And they were like, who is this person? I'm like, well, I'll tell you all about them. And I did. So Mike provided the video. Chrono Wolf, Matt Van Roon, former GOG streamer, provided the music, and it was awesome. So thank you, Mike, for that. When not making amazing videos, how has life in the universe been with you, and who are you playing today?
Yes, great, to be honest with you. Hopefully I'm not too muffled, because I did have double pop filters on because of the mask and also a pop filter on my microphone. So I'm going to ask chat and everybody to basically tell me if I'm mega muffled. But it's been really good because I've been streaming loads, to be honest with you. I've been playing a lot of horror games and I've been scaring myself witless. And yeah, it's not very good for my nervous system, but it's great for content. So that's a good thing, right? Yeah, it's yeah, I'm excited. The last few days have been a bit of a weird one because obviously I watched there's been the run up to ArvCon. There's been me sat in my living room at 11 o'clock at night watching the Klein thing on the laptop and being like, my video is being played in a theater. Oh my God. Like there's this really weird dissonant sort of like disconnect in my brain. I'm just like, my video is being played in an auditorium.
Dude,
This
that
is
screen
mental.
too, that projection screen is massive. And massive. And like Duke Ellington played at this play. Like it was legit. Like it was really, really cool. I have to say. Also quickly, thank you to Chaotix. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say Chaotix just donated again $123 plus, which means that Chaotix now is closing in on the second top donor, by the way. And also we are now up to $24.76.59. We are making some serious inroads, chat. If you want to prove that GOG Ghost of Saltmarsh is where the true donation power lies, we're going to find that out. Anyway, sorry, on you go, Mike.
I'm not saying we're the S tier team, but we're 100% the S tier team, as we have proven in previous years. Nothing but a bit of competitive spirit sprinkled on top. And I'm just like, no, we are the champions and we will prove it. Yeah, so I'm tonight playing Silvo Janus Betulus, our half-elven aberrant mind sorcerer, who has had a bit of a rocky past with regards to his magic because he doesn't really understand it and he doesn't really know how to control it. So think like Venom if he was a wild mage. That's kind of the mix I'm going for right now. But he's kind of trying to get a handle on it. So I've also been buying some new props. I bought a new hood, which I can't get up. There we go. Bought a new hood, and I bought a fake knife because he's just bought a new knife, which I can spin very, very satisfyingly.
Is that a curved knife?
It's a curved blade.
Knives. All right. Okay.
Curved blade. I did see it, and it reminded me of the curved blade on the coin from your Kickstarter. I don't know if my camera can pick that up because it's particle. There we go. This beautiful coin that I got from your Kickstarter. So yeah, that's me tonight. I'm very excited.
I am too. I am super pumped up for this, and it's always a pleasure to have Mike with us. And thank you everybody on these amazing donations so far. This is going great. Let's keep it up. Last but certainly not least, now I have not even begun to fight because I haven't even brought in the amazing and incredible closing act. And of course, I'm not referring to Ananda, but something else Ananda possesses. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, I'm talking about Ananda, but Ananda does have a surprise for all of you, which you will reveal in a minute. Ananda, it's a great pleasure to see you. Thank you also. I saw you were stopping by earlier to watch some of the convo with the scientists, so thank you. It's good to see you. How is life in the universe with you? And who are you playing? And what is your awesome surprise for chat that you're doing?
I will go in the order that you asked me the questions
Okay.
of. first off, I am hugely grateful for taking part in this event. It's I'm not going to dwell on it, but I am going to say something I wasn't planning to. A very, very close friend of mine for the last 28 years, a week and a half ago, her mum, who is like a second mother to me, found out that she had stage 4 cancer. She didn't previously know. None of us did, obviously. It was aggressive, and she was given a matter of weeks. This was a week and a half ago. On Monday, she moved into a hospice for end of life care. So this, especially given the timing, is incredibly important to me. So thank you very much for everything you're doing to raise money for research into this incredibly horrible and indiscriminate disease. So I'm going to park that and we'll move on to happier stuff. As I've mentioned, I do have a secret weapon. I am all for raising as much money as we can in our fantastic GOG team segment. So I have a secret weapon. Anyone who has been on our GOG streams or on my channel will know I have the cutest puppy in the world. And for every donation over $30 today, we're going to have a couple of minutes of puppy cam.
What do you think now, chat? Boom.
Yeah. Come on.
Pow.
So
let's go.
We can do this, guys. I'm going to leave puppy cam on for a couple of minutes because we've already had some fantastic donations. I can't see the event list, but I saw a huge donation from Sharian. So for every $30 or more, you get the cutest puppy in the world. I mean, you're welcome. I'm going to put some lights on so you can see her better.
the puppy's like, what? Like, what?
There we go.
I'm ready for my close-up.
You can see the puppy now. But yeah, today I'm going to be playing Brine the Bloodthirsty. She is a water genasi fighter pirate. Her heart's in the right place. She's not the sharpest tool in the shed. However, her crew means everything. So she will go into the fray just to make sure that her crew are safe. And she loves her crew. Looking forward to going into the mines.
Going into the mines. I am very excited for this. So yes, chat, just to reiterate, every donation over $30 means we get 2 minutes. And only 2 minutes, you can't, there's got to be an incentive here. Only 2 minutes of puppy cam, after which we return to the amazing Ananda. And this is nothing against Ananda. It's just pro puppy. It's just,
I mean, we want the money. That's
really what it is.
Pay for puppy.
Yeah, last night when as I mentioned to them off stream, every time we saw Toya's dog, there was insta donation. So I expect that this is exactly what we're going to get here too. So thank you very much, Ananda. Thank you, crew. It's lovely to see all of you folks. Let's get into some play. Let's talk about what happened last time, and let me fire up here a bit of the. We need mine actually. I had. Wait a second. I had music. Hold on. I had a mine music, but I want. Yeah, that's what I want. All right. Okay. Let's go with the mine. All right. Hang on. Should be becoming audible momentarily, I hope. Okay, there we go. Can people hear that? Is it too loud? Is it too much? Or is it okay? Can people hear that okay?
It's a little quiet on my end.
Quiet?
Due to my sound settings, I won't. Due to my sound settings, I won't hear anything. So
okay.
Yeah.
I was fine. Yeah, I turned it up in Roll20.
There we go. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Lovely. All right. So the members of the crew, which really, I guess the Marsh crew, is that what I heard as a possibility? The Marsh crew is what suggested.
Well, I've been itching for a name for this crew for a while.
Yeah, the Marsh crew or the Salt crew, the salty dogs. Crew. The salty dogs. You could be the salty dogs. The salty dogs, except it would leave out the birds, so I don't know. The salty dog birds or something. Anyway,
and salty dogs has a connection to the puppy cam. the puppy cam that
Yes.
everybody wants.
Well, that's what I'm
you
saying.
can see the
yeah.
puppy.
No, I know. I just don't want to. I don't want to be speciest and leave out waves. Is what I'm saying, Pyron. I just don't know.
Oh,
So that's why I'm thinking.
Yeah,
and
never
if-
mind the genasi, the dwarf, the half elf.
No,
yeah,
no,
none of
whatever.
those,
I'm just caring about the
whatever.
animals,
You
okay?
just-
Like
yeah,
that.
Yeah, you just care about filling the kenku. I see.
So this crew has been together now for some time and has been engaged in trying to navigate several thorny problems. One of them is a political problem, and it is trying to deal about the battle between the loyalists and the traditionalists, the people who are trying to bring Saltmarsh in one direction versus those who are trying to bring people in another direction. And figuring all that out has been a concern for them, a rather significant concern, I think it is fair to say. So that is part of what has been the issue here, is the political stuff, which is, of course, Morthwill's favorite thing in the world. The other problem, though, has been a growing threat, and that is this sense that there is something threatening the people of Saltmarsh, and indeed everyone along from the Azure Sea along that coast. It's not entirely clear as to what exactly is responsible for this, or at least it hasn't been clear, but the threat is beginning to coalesce. It's beginning to come into view. Over the last couple of adventures, the party has begun to realize that there is a threat posed by the Sahuagin, a group of evil aquatic creatures that generally do things like make life miserable for people on the seas by raiding ships and doing things like that, but they're always kind of disconnected and they squabble amongst each other. But no longer. The Sahuagin have become more and more bold and more organized, striking at fortresses and at various places here, there, and everywhere across the sea, and doing so in a way that may pose a threat to the actual coastal kingdoms, and not just the human or humanoid ones, but ones owned by those that traditionally have been eschewed by places like Saltmarsh. Never more notably than what the party was able to do in negotiating an arrangement with the lizard folk nearby, who are basically assembling their own alliance to meet this threat. And so to convince Saltmarsh to join this alliance and become a part of it, the party was able to speak to some of the members of the council. Some of them, like Anders Salmar, whom they kind of work for theoretically, is obviously on their side. And Anders Salmar is technically the leader of the council, but he can't do everything on his own. And there are others there that are not as convinced that the lizard folk have the best interests of the villagers of Saltmarsh in mind. And so what was suggested by Anders Salmar is going forth to actually get this item, which would demonstrate not just the party's seriousness and their commitment, but would also be a kind of boost in status for Anders that would allow him to be able to convince the council to support this alliance. But that wasn't the only issue that the party was dealing with. There was also this concern that there were these creatures of undeath that were wandering around and into these silver mines, which are nearby the town of Saltmarsh, and that may or may not have been related to this situation that we've been speaking about. Partly because some of the undead that we saw came literally from out of the water and from out of the sea, according to the reports of the guards, and walked into those mines. And so the party, after some discussion, has decided that they wanted to explore the mines. They can, of course, at any time decide the hell with this, and we want to actually go deal with the ghost ship that has this weapon and anything. And maybe these are all connected somehow. But in any case, the party decided that they would go to the mines to figure this out. And so, as we move over to the map here, you can see that they are standing outside what would be best described as like the sort of the outside of the mine, and then began to enter it. They were told by the guards, well, it's fine if you want to go down there. It's fine if you want to, do what is necessary and, find things out. But truthfully, they don't even know if there is any real attack threat. Yeah, there have been a couple of skeletons, but that's not a big deal. But one of the guards said that he did hear from the person who claimed to have seen this undead threat that was coming at them, and that it was literally walking out of the ocean from actually the direction of the ghost ship, probably, at least where they were told the ghost ship was lying. And so the party had that to consider as they were prepared to descend into this mine. So with all that said, I'm going to bring us, having brought us over to there, I'm going to bring the players here to what may or may not be. I hope this works and doesn't reveal anything it shouldn't, but bear with me. Players, I hope you are seeing something. Wait a second, please be right. Yay! It worked. Okay. you will see right here. I'll center it for you. Right here. There we go. See that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is, you may remember that you were descending from these sort of steep stairs down into the mine proper. And this is basically a doorway here that leads into, at least you're so told, the rest of the mine complex where these creatures of undeath supposedly were seen. And so this is the door that leads to that spot. It's right here at the southern end of this little section. Not very wide openings here. These are about, actually, let me check the map. I think this is, hold on just a moment. Let me see. Yeah, I think these are 5-foot squares that you're in. So you don't have a lot of room to maneuver. And the door, I will tell you, even without a check, you can tell that the door itself is quite damp and maybe even a little swollen, as if with moisture. And so how I will hand things back over to the players.
Okay. Morthwell will move to take the lead if there's nobody stops him.
Oh, so always
It's a
definitely
mine. He's
Absolutely
just
not, as
assuming dwarven authority.
Ushering him ahead.
No one, listen, no one else. Everyone's like, look, we know the deal. You know.
So it was just like, mine's always this like spooky feeling on the outside because I'm getting a definite chill here.
Yep.
It depends on the mine, but mines are often felt to have souls and personalities. You learn their tricks and their ways.
So mines are like living things to dwarves, right?
Aye, yes.
Cool.
The living stone.
Cool. So we're going into a living stone.
It's
I
not
don't think
literally
stone
living.
either.
Not saying the cave won't try and take a bite out of you, though.
Cool. With that, Silvo steps to the side and slightly behind of Brian.
Thoroughly terrified.
Brian just like surreptitiously, so no one else sees, just like taps him on the arm and just like, it's okay, it's fine.
We got this.
We've got this.
I should mention,
For what
by
it's
the
worth,
way,
Morthwell doesn't look particularly worried. You get the sense that he's smirking as he was talking there.
We've been here before.
Just having a little fun.
Okay. So as you look at the door, one thing I want to mention too, so the door itself is only about 6 feet high, and the floor and the walls here are uneven natural stone, and the stone you can already feel down here is damp. In fact, this whole place feels kind of like musty. And you can't quite tell, but you think, because you're coming down the stairs, but you think the ceiling, like above the door, is only about 7 feet high. So this is not very tall. Like, this is not very big. In fact, I don't remember how tall Brian is, but Brian, do you remember, Inanda, how tall Brian is?
I'm not off the top of my head.
7 feet 1 inch.
Yeah, right.
She's not that tall. I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Okay. Not anything where you're going to be banging your head, I think, but just be aware that like 7 feet's not very tall. Like, I mean, you'd be able to reach up at the very least and feel the top of it, Brian, for sure. And probably Silvo would as well. Waves. How tall is Waves, Pyron?
Waves is not very tall.
I didn't
no.
think so. And then obviously Morthwheel as a dwarf is not going to have as, that issue, but
4.5 feet. What's the problem?
Yeah, exactly. This is actually
I'm
normal.
taller than him.
1.75 Celsius.
That's
I
right.
did write down exactly how many that was. 1.5.
Oh, that's so close.
1.5 seconds. Okay. So let me just quickly get my notes here in order. Okay. And yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, before we proceed, you said that the door and the door frame were swollen with
Yes.
water.
That's right.
Can I tell because I know that the mines are adjacent to the sea. Can I tell is this salt water? Is this seawater?
I think you can tell for sure that this is seawater. Yes. You can even smell it a little bit, right? There's a slight kind of aura of salt. And in fact, as you look at the door, Brian, you can see there's a little bit of dusty whitish powder, which as you kind of sort of just kind of look closely at it, is almost certainly like dried salt.
Morthill's going to examine the tunnel, see if it seems fairly standard construction or odd in some way.
No, it seems to be fairly standard construction, although, if this were a dwarven mod, you suspect this is like they must have brought dwarves in later to like clean up after the humans screwed it up, right? Like, because I mean, the work is, the dwarves are they're better craftsmen. It's like, I've talked about this before. It's like every cable guy or like every tech person you bring out to your house or to your apartment is always like, I don't know what the last person did, but let me tell you, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of what you're like. You're like, oh, come on, man. But yes, it does look like it is certainly stable and sturdy construction, but uneven. And it's been carved clearly going with the cavern walls themselves, basically.
Okay.
Whilst Morthwill's obviously doing his kind of tapping the walls thing, I'm just going to make sure I don't get in his way, but I would like to listen at the door.
Okay. You can absolutely do that. Let me get a perception check from you, please.
You can. 18.
Okay. So as you're listening to this, you can hear, first of all, there's a little bit of a creaking sound. Now that may be coming from, it doesn't seem to be coming from the door directly, but it does sound like wood, but kind of like a maybe something swinging back and forth, or something pressing on something that is squeaking, that is making this creaking sound of wood.
I'm going to turn to Morthwill. There's something that doesn't sound particularly stable over there. Are you sure that this, pointing at the tunnel, the structure is safe?
Well, this bit weren't made by no dwarves, so it could be anyone's guess. Probably very slipshod. It's a hard word to say, apparently. So we can't take anything for granted. Now, if this was a dwarven build, then I would have stake my reputation on it, but we're dealing with human.
I heartily nod and agree and like slap him on the shoulder in a completely encouraging way. Okay.
Whatever you say.
Not patronizing like sorry, that's my puppy's name. Brian does not do like sarcasm or she doesn't have the brain power. Everything that comes out of her mouth is 100% what she thinks.
Okay. Morthil will go over and investigate the door.
Okay. So yes, if you're gonna, so go ahead and make an investigation check for me. Let's just see what you find out.
20, not on that.
Okay. So a couple of notes about that. First of all, as I mentioned, it is in fact it's made of a fairly sturdy kind of wood, but it is definitely swollen from moisture, and also like there's kind of a salt residue on it. Now, one of the things that's strange about this as you look at it, Morthwill, is the fact that the door itself looks to be swollen from, like it's bowed in towards you. So it looks like the swelling is coming from the other side. Now, it does not feel, before anyone panics, it does not feel like that you're listening to like something which is filled with water, which is going to like burst in on you. It's not like that. But it is a little strange that the pressure seems to be coming, out in your direction, basically causing the door to bend in that direction.
I wouldn't stand directly in front of this thing when we open it. You see the way it's bulging towards us. Something pressure is causing that.
Silver immediately stands directly behind Brian.
I don't think it's water, though. It'd be leaking around the sides.
I want to note Stalio in chat was like, I was just thinking about water behind the door. Everyone's had the same idea.
Me too.
Like, oh, God.
Yeah.
I move back, and then I look at Morthwill and cock my head to see if I've moved back far enough.
I shrug.
I move back further.
Have you seen anything like this, Morthwill?
Nothing I can think of. You hear stories, though. And particularly if you're working in mining engineering, you have to work with things like the unexpected.
Does the
Okay.
door have a doorknob?
The door does have a handle, not a doorknob, but a handle on this side.
I go through my backpack, take out a rope,
Morthor nods at that.
and point towards the handle.
Yep.
And make a knotting motion.
Morthor will do that. Not on the handle.
How much space is there around us at the minute?
Not a lot. You're probably standing in I didn't ask you to bring your tokens on because I wanted a little more room for you to maneuver, but it's about
I see.
8 feet of space, probably 8.5.
Got
Like
it.
you're all able to barely fit. A couple of you are standing on the stairs behind. So.
Okay.
Brian, just
Can
at
I-
this moment, you feel a hand hook into one of your belts, and it's Silvo's, because he's just realized that if there is a ton of water behind there, he's about to get flattened by a 6-foot genasi who can breathe underwater, though.
I was thinking the same thing. So what's the floor made of?
The floor is also made of this kind of rough stone.
Is it
A
stone that
little
I could
rough and
potentially
ragged,
kind
too.
of
Sorry, go ahead.
dig both of my swords into for some kind of purchase?
Yes, actually, I think so. It's a little soft. Not like it's going to collapse, but it is almost like a kind of limestone. It may be that this is kind of the porous stone that you sometimes get in certain coastal areas, Brian, where so much water has saturated it that it's literally kind of the stones are a little hole-y, like they're holes in the stone. So you might be able to do that, but you don't know how strongly the stone would hold you. It might be that if you can put your swords in, then it means they can get knocked out just as easily. So you're not 100% sure.
I'm gonna try and brace myself with my swords in the stone.
Okay.
And encourage Silvo to put his second hand through my belt loop as well.
Yep, needs no further encouragement.
Okay.
Okay.
That is effectively going to block me in the tunnel.
Yep. We're not gonna let you be swapped away. We need you. I only have a rapier, so that's not really good for anchoring myself. So instead, I take out a little bit of dry sand out of my pouch and ready myself.
Okay.
Ooh,
All right.
mysterious.
Okay.
I guess we're going back as far as we can with the rope and giving it a tug then.
Okay. Are you actually getting up a little bit on the stairs? Because you can, like, the stairs lead right down into the top of this.
As far as the rope will
Okay.
let us get away from the door,
All
I
right.
think.
So when you give the rope a tug, it like just flies open, smashes against the wall. I imagine all of you are like, ah! But instead of water, what you hear is a "rrr, rrr." And in front of the door that you have just opened, you see a room, but also you see a rope dangling in front of the door on the other side of it, from which is hanging an ivory horn. And it just swings back and forth.
Hmm.
Is it a
I'm-
horn that I recognize?
I was going to go up and give it an Arcana check.
I was going to say, not from here, for sure. Like, you'd have to go up closer. Also, I want to point out to everybody that it is odd that this is supposed to be the mine, like, entrance that the miners sometimes used, even though they told you they hadn't been in there for a little while, but, like, this seems odd. Anyway, so, yes, if both of you, because you both mentioned it, Brian and Morthwill, if you want to go up and take a look at it, you certainly can.
Yep.
Yeah,
Morpheus
I
going to look it over. Arcana
Just a
check.
quick question. Was this tied to the door or tied to the ceiling and dangling in front of us?
It looks like it was tied to the ceiling, but when the door opened with the pressure, it must have,
All
like,
right, okay.
taken the air, so it's, like, blowing the thing
Yeah.
back and forth.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Thank you.
If we're
yeah.
talking horn, are we talking like musical instrument or animal horn?
Like Viking horn, doo-doo type of thing, you know?
Okay.
Like an alarm.
Arcana check, go ahead and make that, please make that check for me.
Oh, I've got a nat
Whoa!
20.
Wow.
Damn.
That's worth a donation. Right, chat? Make sure you're donating to
Great.
David Runyon.
Too great.
Wow.
Two natural 20s.
Two natural 20. That is, wow. So all of a
What are
sudden,
the
like,
odds?
you suddenly have a memory. There's a montage
God
of every horn
damn.
ever made. Like, we take 5 minutes to look at horns. No, that is impressive. So There is unquestionably a kind of abjuration magic which seems to be floating around this horn. It is indeed magical, but what's weird about it, Morthwheel, is, and again, you haven't cast Detect Magic, this is Arcana, but what's weird about it is, a lot of times when you think something is magical, you're like, oh, this is magical because of this, or there feels like a magical aura. This feels as if the magic, for want of a better term, is stretching out. As if it's like reaching out to other things in the room or beyond the room.
Possible part of a set, perhaps. I mean, unless Brian goes to stop him, Morthwheel will just unhook the horn from the rope.
Does not want to unhook easily. You might have to cut it.
All right. Unfortunately, I actually don't have a dagger. I have got a saw, though, so carpenter's kit.
Okay.
Silver just stood there spinning his dagger like, I ain't cutting it down.
As if Morthwell's going to grab the horn, Brian will just like quick slash of her scimitar just to cut the rope.
Okay. And you can do that, and it just, and it just bonks on the ground. Well, I mean, if you're holding it, it doesn't. Are you holding the horn as you do that, or are you just?
No, Morthwell was grabbing it. I will only do it if he's like going to.
So he has it in his hands.
I'll just give him a helping hand by cutting the rope.
I'm like reaching out with. I've got it in one hand. I'm reaching out with my saw to try and get at the rope, and then Brian steps in.
Okay, so Brian can do that. Although Brian, it's not going to be one swift slash. This rope is thick with moisture and salt, so you have to kind of saw through it a little bit. You can certainly do it, but it's not like just a one slash cut with your scimitar. So, but you can do that if you like.
I'm looking at Morthwell. I'm like for nodding confirmation. Do you want me to cut the rope?
Yeah, no, Morthwell nods. I want to get this down.
And so I saw through the rope with my scimitar.
Okay. You can do that. That's fine. Nothing happens.
Morthwell catches it as it drops.
Brian at this point.
Say again, Silvo. Sorry.
Silvo is definitely let go of Brian at this point.
Okay.
just FYI. He's not just like, oh.
Okay. Okay. So now you have a horn with a rope attached to it. What's left of the rope, Morthwell?
Yeah.
I go over and look quizzically at two of them and like point to the horn and shrug, like, because why are we taking the horn?
I can feel it reaching out to other things. I thought maybe if we bring it to them, we might figure out what's going on in this mine.
Yeah, there's an aura around this horn. Even I can
Although
see
I've got to say, the usual mine isn't known for hanging horns. This is unusual.
Is there any
smells like a
evidence
trap.
in this room? Like, because obviously a mine would have a lot of footfall going in and out with the miners going in and out. Is there any evidence of like foot traffic through this?
There is not
hallway?
actually foot traffic right now. And in fact, it's funny you should mention that because I've not had a chance yet to describe the room. But the room itself actually has a drab gray curtain, which is on this side, right over here. Sorry, I beg your pardon. This side, there we go. You can see the curtain kind of extending along the western walls, basically, and covering over what looks like a hallway, probably beyond it. And then you have a door to the south here, and you have a door to the east here. But you do not, at the moment, hear any sound other than a trickling and dripping sound as of like, water dripping from stone. Other than that, there is, now that you got rid of the rope, which was creaking back and forth, there's just silence.
So there's no evidence of footfall at all?
Not here, no. But I should say that the floor is quite damp, and it's possible that those footfalls, if they existed, may have been, wiped away or, with other people sort of going over them. But there's no example of foot traffic on this side.
Is the curtain wet?
The curtain does feel slightly damp.
I'm not touching it. I'm just out.
No. Okay. Well, I mean, it's
nothing.
not saturated. It's not saturated.
Okay.
So I'll put it that
But
way.
it looks like it has been wet.
Yes.
Does it look like? Would I know if it's wet from water rising or wet from people who are wet walking through it?
Be hard to tell that. It definitely looks a little bit more. I mean, if you look to the ceiling, it definitely seems to be as damp. It's not, again, not saturated, but it definitely looks to be as damp as on the bottom of it. So that would suggest that it's not people walking into it.
Yeah.
Can I differentiate? Because obviously there's going to be water all around if there's water seeping through the rocks. Can I differentiate between that sound and potentially like rushing water, seawater?
You can absolutely differentiate as soon as I add $223.03 to the total from Trendane, who has donated. Hello,
Thank you very much,
Trend.
Trendane.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Thank
much,
you.
Trend. Appreciate
you,
that
Tren.
very, very much. And that means we are up to $26.99.62. Which also means that it's dog cam time. See, Trent didn't even know this. I don't think Trent is here for this. You see the dog approves. Look at Brian's window. The dog approves. River approves.
River's
of
like 200. You say, God damn.
of your
I'll get up."
donation. Well, I'm going to do that.
That's
definitely.
worth a stretch.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Thank you. Very, very much, Trent, for that. Okay. Give me 1 second while I get this fixed and resolved. Okay. I have to. Hold on, I got to capture something different on my dice roller. I'm not getting everything. I'm so sorry, Nanda. Just 1 second. Let me get this one thing resolved, and then I'll come back to your question. There we go. Right. Okay, so now, I'm sorry. I was in the midst of being excited that Trent contributed. Thank you again for that, Trent. Yeah, you're not here. Yeah, sure you're not, Trent. I see that you're not here. So please answer the question again. I'm sorry, Ananda. What did Brian say?
Basically, with obviously water all around us, with water like trickling down rocks, I was wondering if Brian could hear any differentiation between that and potentially any direction that running water or the sea could be.
I see. I see. Let me have you make a perception check, but I think because of your nature, I will give you a advantage to that check. So advantage to perception, and thank you to Pyron, Jade, and EA for the $20 donation. Thank you so much, Pyron. That brings us up to $27.19.62. Amazing. We are making huge progress towards GOG being the greatest of all teams of donation gainers, at least at the moment. Thank you so much. So we're looking at what, an 18? Yeah, you think that there may be more. You hear the sound of faintly kind of, trickling, but also possibly lapping water, which would suggest that at least it's more than just moisture coming from the ground. It's not just groundwater. It looks like there may be a body of water nearby, more to the west, you think, Brian, than to the south or the east. Like through the curtain, basically.
I think the sea's that way. Sorry, you only had 2 minutes. $200 is great, but 2 minutes is all you get.
That's it. You want more? You know what to do, Chad.
You want more? You got to bring the dollars. I think that there's water, like proper water, seawater, that in that direction. However, can I have a listen to the tunnel to the north?
Sure. You can absolutely do. Well, no, you just came from that one to the north. You mean this is the door you came from. This isn't what you mean, is it?
Oh, sorry. I was turned around. I was looking at it as if I was kind of facing towards where I'm going. Tunnel to the south, then.
I see. So this one here, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you can definitely do that. Sure. So that one, perception. That's not advantage though. That's just regular perception.
3. I don't hear a thing.
You hear a door, a closed one. Oh, and you can also, I'm sorry, you can also bring your tokens in now, by the way. I should say, you now have enough room, you can do that.
How do you do that?
Oh,
I don't
do I have
know
to
my
do that?
token is.
Maybe I do that. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I've never known how to do that.
Sorry,
So.
I can do that. I should do
I
that.
need an adult. I'm sorry. I need a D&D adult.
My fault. Okay, let's go back to here.
So we have, on the left of the map, we have a curtain. On the bottom of the map, we have a door. And on the right of the map, we have a door. And at the top of the map, we have where we came from, correct?
That is correct. That's right.
Yeah.
And I just double check, make sure you folks have control over those tokens.
Yep.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Silva's going to go and listen by this door.
Sounds good. To the east. Okay.
Yes.
Let me have a perception check, please, from Silva.
Perception. I need my character sheet. Where have I put my character? There it is. Perception check. haven't got my glasses on because cosplay. Yeah. I got 12.
I would say that you really don't hear much from that side. I'll also note that this door looks drier than the one you came from, and certainly than the curtain to the west.
Well, I think I found the door that the water's scared of. Dry door, wet curtain, dry door.
So what do you think? Which one should we look in first?
Well, if we're not looking for wet zombies, dry door probably seems like the best bet.
Yeah, it sounds like that might be the safer route. We were warned there might be zombies in the sea.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. I'm just going to stand back here again. Like, I think skeletons are okay, but when they're fleshy, when they're meaty, I think that's where I probably draw the line.
Depends how
Like,
long they're in the water for. The fish get them in the end.
Ooh, let's not go down that route, shall we? Still not recovered from the skeleton incident in the mansion. So, which door are you going to go through first, Brian? Oh, leader and wielder of two massive swords and ginormous muscles.
Well, the door that I'm facing, the one that I can't hear through, that's the dry door, yeah?
The one that Silvo listened to,
No, this one.
This one was dry. The one that you're listening to is also probably a little drier, but not very much than the curtain, Brian. But this one over
And
to
then
the
the
east
one
is drier.
to the west of where I am, this side, that's the one where the sound of the ocean is coming from.
Correct, and that's the curtain as well, yes.
Okay. I'm going to go and... can I listen to this door as well?
Sure.
The one that Silvo was at?
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead and make a perception check for me, please.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know why she's listening at the door. I definitely didn't hear anything.
Woefully failed.
You completely confirm what Silva, like,
I would
seems
say
fine.
you ought
Totally
to be
silent.
like, no, I definitely hear zombies behind this door, Silva. I can hear brains.
Zombies are quite quiet. I can't hear anything, but I'm sure it's fine. I go to open the door.
Okay. All right. When the door opens, I need you to make a perception check for me, please, Brian, when you open the door.
An initiative roll.
And also, I need to thank Effect Life for donating $26 to the cause. Thank you very much, Effect Life.
Thanks, Fat Life.
Thank you. So we are up to $27.44.62.
Legend.
And that is not quite enough to trigger dog cam, but it is. Oh, okay. That, you know what?
I'm going to bet.
It's 25.
I mean,
yeah, it's merciful,
yeah,
right?
It's close enough.
It was worth it. Go on.
You're spoiling them.
Being
We're
generous.
spoiling them.
How are we going to get all the money out of them? We've spoke about this in the green room.
Oh, that's right. Okay, sorry.
Look, now the puppy is moving and is even cuter than before.
I know. She's cuddling a carrot and everything.
Oh no,
Right.
yeah. Oh. Sorry.
Okay, perception, yeah?
Yes. Perception, please. But you're doing not the one you're in front of. The one to the east, right? Is the one that you're doing?
Yes, the one to the right of, like, visually. Yes. 19.
Give me 1 second.
At least it wasn't a dexterity saving throw.
Night's still young.
Yep.
Yet. I was going to say.
Okay. So when you open up the door, two
All
things
packed
you
health
note.
potions, right?
First of all, and I should say, by the way, in case anyone in chat was curious, like, how can they see? There is a kind of bioluminescence that you can see along the walls, a kind of faint bluish green. And as you look closely, it may be because there's a lot of this faintly glowing moss that kind of covers the walls. So you're actually all able to see faintly, I think it's fair to say. So this is what you see here. But there's something else that you note, Brian, which is that standing in front, or I guess I should say stretched in front might be a better way to put it. Stretched in front of the door is a thin, gleaming wire on the other side.
I-
That definitely looks like a trap.
I'm
You'll deal
pointing
with
to the
it.
wire to everybody. This, do not touch the wire.
Morthwheel would like to take out his thieves' tools and attempt to disarm the trap after investigating it.
Okay. Also, I should note that you're looking at this. This looks like a room with rubble in it, but you will find out more if and when you get past this other section. Okay, so thieves' tools.
Yes.
All right, then I would like a check, please. I think we're looking at sleight of hand here, but the thieves' tools should help. Actually, if you just do thieves' tools, it might work on its own. But
Yeah, sure. What attribute am I testing on that?
okay.
Is it what attribute for thieves' tools?
I'm sorry. Say again.
What attribute for thieves'
dexterity.
tools?
Dexterity.
Dex, cool.
Dex, definitely. Yep.
19.
Okay. So you are very, very pleased that you did pretty well on this Morthwheel because this thing is, you think, is quite dangerous. As you are carefully disarming it, you kind of run, your hand carefully along the side. And there's one moment where all of you who are watching intently hear this dink as the wire snaps, but deliberately. Morthwheel had caught one part of it. And Morthwheel, as you slowly release it, you see that the wire extends to a series of what looks like rocks, and on the ground below them, you can see what looks almost certainly like mine explosives. Had someone walked over this, you probably would have blown up a pretty good portion of this room and whoever was in it. Thank you for the follow, Astronomer.
Can I put them in my bag of holding?
The rocks, the explosives.
The explosives, yes.
You want to put the explosives in your bag of holding. I just want to be clear. I
The
want to make sure we all
rocks,
let that sink in. You want to put the explosives in your bag of holding.
Can I examine the explosives first?
Yeah. Yeah, Sherry, and someone did seem serious about trapping this. So as you look at it, it does look like sort of garden variety. At least this is not totally your line. Jokes aside about dwarves, Morthwheel, this isn't really exactly your line. You don't know about mining explosives, but you sure as hell know about explosives. This does look like it was used for specific purposes to break down large surfaces, and it is not. It's refined, but it's not like it's not targeted. Like, it's not designed for, this is just to do a small little charge to open like a safe or something. This is a big kind of thing. It's 3 actually wrapped together. It's designed to take out large chunks of area, like when you first start mining in an area. So it's pretty strong and powerful and a little rough. And this wire definitely was added after the fact. So someone basically jury rigged this to look like this.
Someone didn't want us coming in this room. Well, not us specifically, but that's a pretty big keep out.
I peek into the room to see if something interesting is in here.
How strange.
So what you see, Waves, is this walls of this elongated, roughly 10 feet wide and 25-foot long room are chipped away from presumably mining efforts, and there is sort of rubble scattered on the ground. However, one thing that I want to note here is, give me just a second to find what I need here, is that, I don't need any of that. Don't need any of that. Don't need any of that. Damn it, where's my things I need? Okay, yes, right. Lying on the ground, half buried basically half buried underneath this rubble, you see what look like a pair of basically like a torso with an arm you kind of see as sticking out. And it is holding...
I see what, please?
A torso, a hat, like the top half of a body, with an arm extended above it. And in the hand of the arm, is a pickaxe. So half of the body of something or someone is buried under the rubble at the southern part of this room.
I tap Morthwheel on the shoulder and then point towards the torso and arm guy.
Is the arm just like... Is there anything holding the arm up? Or it's just rigor mortis, like...
Just lying on... It's just lying on the ground, basically.
Oh, okay.
And I'm trying to find... let's see. Just trying to find
natural causes.
I agree with classical. That's death by natural causes down here.
Sounds like death from natural causes.
Death by natural causes.
That's
Sound done deal. Shut the door.
Okay.
We've solved this case.
I still kind of want to take the explosives.
Can I move to? Where is the body in the room? Can I just?
Oh yeah, this is what I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to find the damn thing. Okay, I found it. There we go. Okay, the body is down here, and something else to note about this, by the way, is the hand of the arm is dark skinned, almost gray, dark skinned.
Can I have a
Okay.
look to see if there's any other traps in the room?
Sure. Can you give me specifics about where you're looking though?
I don't have a specific spell. I'm not that magical.
No,
I'm
I meant
just want to-
location actually. Like where in the room are you looking? Like
Where in the room?
yeah, like
Uh,
eastern side.
Well, obviously, I'm at the doorway at the moment,
Mhm.
and the tripwire that I saw was just inside the doorway. So
Right.
I just want to have a look at the. I'm going to go strategically further and further into the room. So, like
Okay.
from here at first onwards.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check. While I'm doing that, Waves, do you want to move your token? I'm guessing like here-ish, or something where the
Yeah, no. I'm close to Morx. Like I said, I just poked him on the shoulder and
Gotcha. Okay.
and pointed towards the unfortunate non-soul.
Silvo, are you still hanging back?
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to be hanging out basically where Brian is at the moment.
Well,
So I'm going to move my token.
technically, there could be a mine underneath Brian's foot, and I wouldn't know.
Technically.
I've just
you didn't
rolled
say that out loud though, right? Because Silver would.
You actually, your investigation has caused you to set a trap. Now you like just accidentally like you somehow reassemble the wire.
Yeah.
Everything seems fine to you. I mean, in fairness, jokes aside, you know, you don't know how much room there would be for a lot of other traps to be placed in here, nor how other people would have done it. You're not even 100% sure. Presumably, the person had the door open, set the wire with the explosives, then carefully stepped over the wire and closed the door. That's the only thing that makes sense. So you don't know how much other room there would be to put other traps down there.
Do you know what? Silver's going to go in the room because he's also just realized
Yeah.
that he's facing two unknown sources of potential danger.
Well,
Mothwell's
yeah,
going to head over to the pickaxe
Okay.
and, by extension, the corpse.
Yeah, looking.
But that's
down,
not what he's looking at.
Well, one. Oh, okay. Are you looking? I was gonna say you're not really looking at the corpse, or are you? You're
I
looking-
don't really care for the corpse right now. There's an interesting looking pickaxe here.
It's true.
I'll look at the corpse, see if it's got anything shiny on it.
Go through his pockets.
Both of you
Yeah,
know.
pretty
So
much.
two things. First of all, the entire bottom half of the body is covered in heavy stone and rubble. The other point is that the creature you're looking at looks vaguely dwarven, but you both, I think, would have encountered something like this before. This is a Duragar. It is a dwarf that comes from the Underdark, and typically spend most of their time underground. But you, Morthwill, have certainly not heard, of Duragar hanging out very much in Saltmarsh, if at all, because Duragar are generally... You know what Saltmarsh is like to dwarves, let alone Duragar, where we have extra bigotry added in. So this is strange. But it's definitely someone that looks like they were dressed as miners, that they were, in fact, mining before this catastrophe. Clearly, you can see that they must have been, buried and killed in this. And it's not recent. They're not a skeleton. But this is not, this didn't just happen a day ago. This is maybe a week or two. And you can see already that there's some rotting of the skin as you look closer.
So we've never
What
seen
in the cub's
Duragar.
blistered belly is a Duragar doing here?
I love those. So we've never seen a Duragar in Saltmarsh, correct?
I would say probably not. You've heard
Probably
of them
not,
and you know what
okay.
they are,
Yeah.
but probably not.
Turn to Morphil. Well, I didn't know the mining corporation here employed Duragar as miners. Did you?
First I've heard about it, and I've been around a while. Never seen a
Yeah.
Duragar or heard tell of any.
I mean, I've only heard, sketchy tales at best, but something feels weird with this. Something feels really weird.
And someone
Sybil's-
really didn't want people finding this.
Yeah. Silver's going to check his hands and his pockets to see if there's any like distinguishing bits of jewelry, rings, bracelets, anything like that.
Okay. You can't. Well, so Silva, because the bottom half of the body is under the stone, you can't really get to any pockets unless you clear rubble. I mean, I will say that the side walls do not look wildly stable. I mean,
no, I'm not going to move rocks. It's just in case, like, if it was just the bottom half that was buried, maybe there's a tunic,
There is definitely a tunic. There are
jacket,
no pockets in the tunic. The only thing that's obviously accessible is he's wearing a helmet, which is kind of a battered metal helmet that you might be able to remove from the head. And then there's also the pickaxe, which you should be able to get off of the hand if you wanted to.
Is there anything that says sort of made in the Underdark, belonged to such and such?
Serves
Mortal is tugging at the pickaxe right now.
Is it just generic equipment?
Yes, it is not made by Drist. Sadly, there's none of that. It does look like it's completely unmarked. Although I will say that the pickaxe looks quite worn. This thing got a lot of use before this happened.
Mortal loses interest.
There's something about this body that just makes me think something weird's going on. Is there anything near the very loose stones that I can just sort of shove aside?
This whole area, is it a cave-in?
Looks like it probably was a cave-in. Might have been a more active mining area, which then was abandoned after this happened. Why you would trap the entrance to it, though, is weird.
Where's the other hand?
Underneath the wall. So it's like one hand is back like this, and the other hand is like next to the body of the creature, like buried
Would
under
the
ground.
hand be easy to reach if I dug my hand in or tried to get the hand out?
You could pull the arm back, but the corpse is well into rigor mortis at this point, so you probably would have a hard time bending the arm without moving some of the stone.
No, I'm out. There's too many sensitive people in the room. If I were on my own, I'd be breaking bones and bendy bits in order to get whatever's on him.
Yeah.
Okay. As we are apparently done here, I would like to go back into the first room and peek behind the curtain.
Okay. You can certainly do that.
Here.
Let me go over here. When you peek behind the curtain, what you see just enough, and the curtain is heavy with moisture, not saturated, but enough that you have to kind of like, it's a little harder to move than you might have expected, and you can just see what looks like. First of all, you now can hear the sound of like bloop 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 bloop, like water bubbling and maybe lapping against something nearby. And you can also see what looks like maybe there seem to be a couple of, there's a dim light in here, but there seems to be something about the middle of the room that you can't quite make out, but there are a couple of things lying on the ground.
Okay, I look whether the others are looking at me, then I point towards the curtain and make bloop, 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 bloop.
I'm going to go here and stand behind Morthwell.
Morthwell's going to pull out his magic horn to see if it's reacting to anything.
It does not seem to be reacting.
I don't quite want to blow it yet.
Those bombs.
I just can't figure on safely transporting them. I mean, they'd probably go in the old backpack, but I don't know what might happen from sticking explosives where the sun literally doesn't shine.
Fair enough.
Might be a bit more self-destructive than I'm hoping.
I honestly thought that was the motto of the group, to be honest with you, but let's go.
I don't know. It's when Bakab asked if I was sure I wanted to do that, I started to doubt myself.
Are you sure you want to handle these explosives? Well, not anymore.
We going in?
Okay, I move to
Brian
behind the curtain.
Okay.
I'm going to turn to the others and say, hang on a second. Surely this door here might lead to where the other tunnel was heading towards. Do we not want to know what was so important?
I could try and sneak a look, see what we can see.
Well, we need to be aware that the last door was booby trapped. We don't want to walk into another trap.
That's
not walking
an
in, I'm
outstanding point.
I'm just opening the door and having a peek.
It's
Just
dangerous.
Just real quiet, like, you know, I'm gonna be quiet. Okay, not around you guys apparently, but when you're not here, I'm incredibly stealthy.
Okay, I'm also
You're
quite
stealthy when we can't see you, is what you're saying.
Exactly, yeah. When you guys aren't here, I'm devilishly stealthy. I'm
You're
cunning,
talking
I'm
about this door
sly.
to the south,
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
We could have a
if
peek.
Silvo's going ahead of Brine, what I'd like to do is not perceptively, not so that he knows, but just get hold of a scruff of his coat or something, so I can just pull him out of the way if there is
Just gonna go ahead and roll a
perceived
perception
danger
check.
beyond this door.
I don't feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I'm just
know.
like, yeah, that feels nice. I'm just gonna, as quietly as I can, see if I can open the door. If I can, push or pull the door open so I can see into it and see what I can see.
Okay. And the one down to the south, to be clear, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't mind rolling a stealth roll for this.
Yeah, go ahead. If you're trying to be specifically stealthy, yes.
I'm trying to be specifically stealthy. 6.
So with a yell of stealth, you open the door.
It's the creakiest door in the world.
Okay. It opens to a hallway, and you can't see very much except that it seems to be leading to, if you had to guess, a room that has it looks like a couple of wooden beams and things like that are lying on the ground. So there's a couple of like wooden beams that you can see just sort of haphazardly almost scattered, but you'd need to get closer to see what that's all about.
Okay, so with a very stealthy turn of the handle again,
Yeah.
I just turn to Morthwell specifically and go, that was not my fault. I was very quiet. This shoddy human workmanship.
Well, it's hard to argue about the shoddiness of the general workmanship of the average
Exactly.
humans, but you were pretty noisy.
I was no noise. I was very quiet. I cannot. Let's just carry on.
I like that you're saying this while the voice is large. I was not. It was totally fine. Fine. Like it's just like echoing down the hallway.
I was going to say with the perceptible echo down the tunnel.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so where are you folks headed?
I point towards the curtain again and go again. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
To the bloop loops. Let's go to the bloop loops.
I nod towards,
I agree.
and I nod without an echo going down this tunnel towards Waves, going, okay, let's go this way. There's definitely rushing water this way.
Okay. I look towards Morthwell to see if he wants to go ahead, and if not, I'll go ahead.
I'll go ahead, and I'd like to be checking for traps as I do, specifically down this corridor and where it exits here.
Okay.
I'm not looking for traps because I don't know anything about traps, but I'm still at least listening for creatures, monsters, humans, or other troublemakers.
Go ahead and make an investigation check for me, please.
Investigation.
Both of us?
Not you, because you specifically were
okay.
like, I don't want to do any of that. You were like, hell no. Morthwell?
If the trap spoke to me and said, hi, I'm a trap, then I might.
You'd like repeat it back, right? And then
It's low quality lumber they've used under there. Were they using clubs instead of pickaxes to dig this tunnel?
I just imagining Morthwell walking around, just thumping walls and like stamping on floor panels. He's just like, look at all of this.
This is
What do you
crap.
mean traps? No, there's no traps here. Look.
Oh man, it's like multiple fool of a took conversations, like right, just Okay, you do not find traps, but you do find something else. Specifically, You find that you were right about this water area, or Brian was right, I should say, about this water area. And you find not only that there is water, but that there is, in fact, a dock as well. And that is not all. So there are, in this area, you can see that there is a 20-foot wide hexagonal stone platform that is right over here. And there are, sorry, let me center that for chat. That is right over here. And there are stones going, stones, yeah. The Rolling Stones are singing all the way into the water. There are steps going down into the water. There are docks that extend further to the west here. And there are stone bridges that extend to the northeast. You just came from the one that extended from the corridor, but there's another bridge down here to the southeast, and you think there's one to the southwest as well, although over water. But of more immediate notice is there are several bloodied and dead minor bodies lying on the ground, just like the one you saw, except not buried under rubble, and one who is dressed differently. This one is dressed in leather armor, and they have a scimitar at their belt. And Brian, this looks vaguely familiar to you, this person, or at least what they're wearing.
Can I get a closer look? And yeah,
You
can I get a closer look?
Sure.
Particularly at the person with familiar looking clothing.
This person is wearing a kind of basic leather armor. And a kind of leather armor, leather tunic, pants, etc. And has the scimitar, and it's a scimitar that you notice because the scimitar has a notch that has been cut out of the blade near the hilt. So basically nothing that's going to affect it as a scimitar, but it is distinctive. It's a special sort of triangular incut, and you know that this is used only by a certain group of particularly foul and cruel pirates. And as you look at the belt of this thing, you can also see a whip, because these pirates, Brian, are also known as slavers. The other thing to note about this pirate slaver is that both he and the other, Duragar miners lying here look like they have been savagely slashed and bitten by something very big.
So not by swords.
Correct.
I obviously relay back to the others. This isn't a miner. This is a pirate. We in my line of piracy, we do not condone slavery. This is the scum and villainy of the pirate world, and if they're here, this could cause trouble. Can I detect, for want of a better word, how long they've been dead for?
Let me think. Yes. Let me have you make a medicine check for me, please. We can kind of see how long they've been dead.
I'm not very wise. Let's see how this turns out. 11.
Okay. So with an 11, even with an 11, you can tell that they have not been dead for very long, probably less than 24 hours. Morthwheel and Silvo and Waves, I would like you all to make perception checks for me, please.
Okay.
He said right after noting that other one. Okay.
16.
16 will come to you in a
13.
second. 13. And Waves with the 16. Silvo, I think you're probably pretty occupied, like maybe being terrified by everything, or I don't know, but being sort of like drawn into this. I'm not sure.
It's a lot of pockets I could look through.
That's
right now.
true too, actually.
A lot of pockets.
For Morthwheel and for Waves, you hear a bubbling sound coming from behind you. Now, do you turn, or I should ask first if you're turning?
Yes.
Yes.
Please.
Okay. Yes, please. Coming out of the water you see two huge creatures that look like a cross between a crocodile or an alligator and a crab. It pulls itself up onto the dock, one claw at a time. Like you see the face of the alligator, like, oh, we've seen this before, and then claw, and it pulls itself up, and that's a good place to take our break. You are watching the amazing D&D with GOG, Ghosts of Saltmarsh crew. I am joined by the amazing Pyron J, Darksaber 2K, of course, Peripheral Mike, and of course, Inanda and Inanda's dog. We are joined by all of them, and we have raised so far, since this started, over $500. But if you want them to be the number one S-tier crew, then they need to get over $3,100 when all is said and done. So I expect you all know what to do. ! Donate to be able to get more of this as we go through. I am excited to see what happens next. It is 2:18, so let us be back here. Let's say 7 minutes. Let's get back here at 2:25 if this is okay with everybody. So 7 minutes from now, and chat. We'll see what happens when they fight this crab alligator. More to come in just a bit. Hang tight. Okay. So welcome back, everybody. I hope everyone has been thinking carefully about what exactly we want to call this creature that we're facing. A croca lobster.
No, crocodiles.
Crabbigator. The actual term that's used is a crabbigator, but if you want to call it a crabadile, I mean, crabbigator or crabadile, any of those things would possibly be working. The name is not Sebastian.
It's definitely it was definitely a straight to DVD movie.
And also, we have questions.
Okay.
The tokens, are they to scale?
Yes, these are huge beasts.
Jeez.
Okay, so plan A is then.
Yep.
Plan
Yep, plan A.
Plan A. Hello to John Roach.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. So welcome. And
Specifically, how tall are they?
they are probably a good 10 feet tall, maybe 11 or 12 feet, actually. And they are a good 15. Actually, yeah, they probably are about 13, 14 feet tall. This cavern is the only area where it seems like they could probably fit, although they don't stand up straight. They're more kind of like, half their bodies are up with their claws, but the rest of their body is trailing into the water. And oh, you shared what that was happening on Blue Sky. Okay, I was a little confused. I was like, hello from Blue Sky. Now I get it. Thank you, Prince Justin, for sharing. And welcome, everybody, to the Damon Running Cancer Research Foundation event known as ArvCon. This is ArvCon 2023. We have raised so far $2,744.62. Our goal is $7,100. So far, this crew is attempting to be the crew that has raised the most of any crew, and they have done some good work on that score so far. Separate comments aside, we're all pulling in the same direction. All of us want to just raise money for Damon Runyon, but separately, it is critically important that everybody win, becomes the greatest team of all time. And they are facing crabadialligator things in our Dungeons & Dragons game that they're about to fight. Before they do that, though, just remember, ! Donate, as you just saw, to get your donation in and give these people some support. Remember, every donation over $30 gives you 2 minutes of puppy cam, and you may need 2 minutes of puppy cam to get your mind clear of whatever the hell you're looking at with these crabbigator things. Shall we get, chat, and players, some initiative and a little bit of combat music? Let's go with...
Well, I mean, you guys can. I'm safely in the corridor near the door.
Oh, wrong one.
Wait, what? What?
I may or may not have moved my token without RC.
Wait, what?
That's real stealth. Real stealth there.
Real stealth. That was a nat 20 stealth roll, that was. Fine, I'll go back.
Can I ask, before we roll initiative, as an aquatic-ish creature, do I know of...
No, you have not seen something like this before.
It's the
I mean,
theme song.
you've certainly seen... That's right, I thought you might like that. You've certainly seen creatures that are kind of amalgams or unnatural, things before, Brian. But this does feel particularly unnatural, as if it's been mutated or modified in some way. So yeah, I would say you have never seen anything exactly like this before, which I'm sure makes you feel delighted at that experience. So with that said, let's see what we've got. Can I get initiative rolls, please?
Oh yes, initiative. Sorry.
13.
I need to click the token
19.
first. Or how was it? I need to click the token first. There was a trick to doing this.
Yeah, you're supposed to technically click the token and then do the roll. It's no big deal. I didn't mention it either.
Let's see.
Apologies. You always mention it. That's the thing. I always forget. You mention it every time.
Yeah, well, it's right. I still love all you.
Woof.
God damn, Waves.
Yeah, I want to get out of this. So.
Yeah.
We're all very motivated about this one.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Hold on a second. Right, okay, there you are. I was like, what the heck? All right.
What?
So we have 13 from Brian. We have a 25 from Waves crashing against rocks. We are going to add your turn. I think that actually is you, Silvo. I think you did actually roll it properly, if I'm not mistaken.
Did it?
Because you had a 14, right?
You wanted to send the result of this roll to the roll tracker, but no valid token was selected.
Oh, see, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
see
what
any
mine
of
said.
that. On my end, I see a 14. Well, okay. What do you see on the turn order right now?
0. for me.
Yeah, me too.
I see 0 for Morthwill and Silvo. Wave's got a nat 20.
I just made yours 14, Silvo. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Wave's got a nat 20, you said.
And I'm 13. I can see Silvo's now. It's just Morthwill's I
I can
can't.
see mine now. Not
I've got 19.
19. Okay, now you should be able to see Morthwill's.
Yeah.
And 25. Brian, you see
Yes.
yours though, right? Brian, you see yours?
Oh, yes, I see mine.
Okay. All right, so now we have everybody in the right direction. Yeah, okay. Roll 20 still is funky about how it handles these things. Great. Okay, let's see. Let me just... hold on a second. It's a little messed up. One second. Okay. Bring that back. It's really weird. It's showing something... Oh, never mind, chat. You're just going to have to trust me what the turn order is because it's roll 20 is doing something weird. Okay. Right. So that means that we have got... right, so we've got Waves with a 25. As we said, motivated to get the hell out or do something. Morthwill with the 19. Silvo with the 14. And Brian with the 13. Okay, good. Great. Okay, first to act is Waves. Waves, can I have you act as these creatures, rock, and you hear also the terrible clicking of their claws echoing down the corridors.
Yeah, Waves takes one look at these really, really big creatures and looks over to her companions for a second to just see maybe they're just as horrified as she is, and then she takes off to the south. I take a dash action.
Okay. Now, be aware, as you're taking a dash action, this thing is within range of you. It can get an attack of opportunity as you run.
Yeah, but it will get more attacks on me if I stay.
I mean, that's certainly true. I'm just just throw it out there.
Yeah, I don't see what else. So I would like to I'm if I try to run in the other direction, I will run towards the other creature. So that doesn't seem better.
Fair
really
point.
not.
So you're running
So
down
I'll take
this way, right?
south.
You're running down.
Yes, that's
that
where
way.
that's where I want to go.
Got it. Okay. All right. So when you get to here, I guess, Waves, when you get right there, the creature gets its attack and it shoots out a claw at you. I don't mean literally shoots, but it, let's see.
If the claw really flies, it goes boom, 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 claw shooting, then I'll just,
yeah, exactly. Then you're in big trouble.
I will just not stop running ever.
Some sort of anime then.
Yeah, exactly. The good news is that it's not going to do that. The bad news is that I suspect a 19 is going to hit.
I have exactly 19.
Yeah, tie goes to the attacker, I'm afraid. So the 19 is going to hit. Now, let's see. You are going to take as a result of that. This part is not really... Well, I shouldn't say that. This part is fine. I'm sure you're not going to be super happy that you took 8 points of bludgeoning damage just then. But the worst part is that its claw closes around your body, Waves. So you're like... and you were stopped in place. It has you grappled at the moment.
Okay, I would like to make a noise, panic noise.
Now, technically, you said dash action, right? So
yes, because I wanted to get as far away. So no more attack action for me.
Right. What I'm trying to decide is whether, yeah, you're gonna next turn you can try to escape the grapple, but at the moment now grappling, of course, doesn't mean that you're incapacitated. You can still do some stuff. You just can't move. So right now, this creature has got you clawed, and let's see what's a good claw image.
Claudia was good. Everybody liked Claudia.
Trying to think of what a good one
Everybody
is,
liked
like a token for this. Let's have you here. You've been grappled. Okay, now we know. All right. So Waves, you all hear this sort of screeching bird sound of a bird that has been stopped in its flight, so to speak. And that is what you see, Morthwill, as you look over to see that the one of the crabigators has this in their claws.
Okay, so plan A not working. Okay, well, yes. Plan B then.
Yeah, feel the pinch. Exactly, Pixelated Geek. I see what you did there.
I'm correct. If I move away, I'll get an attack of opportunity against me, won't I?
Let's see. Where are you? Yes,
Just-
you're right. Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
So I can use a disengage action.
Sure.
Yep. So I'm going to disengage use for my action, which is moves me back there. Oh, help! I've got it. Oh, there I am.
Okay. I was like, what
I went
happened?
into I put the corpse on top of me and played dead.
Oh,
No. So I'm gonna
I can move
use
that to the
my-
bottom layer if you need, but that is kind of
No,
funny.
it's
that You
fine.
just sneak underneath the thing. Okay.
Yeah. So for my movement, I'm going to go back to here.
Okay.
And then for my bonus action, I am deploying the cube.
Okay, I was just about to say that because you're gonna have to double move to do that. Technically, right, Saber? Because you can only go 5 feet on a disengage. So if you go
Yes.
back there, okay, so that's fine. Now, bonus action, you're deploying the cube.
The
All right.
cube.
Okay.
And this time he pushes a button that resembles a bull. So it's not shield toad this time round.
All right, let me see if I
And
can.
it does its thing, unfolding like Transformers, too many gears in not enough space. And there's a little clockwork bull now on the ground. Can I get a token for that?
I literally was just looking.
Excellent.
Let's see if I have.
Because this time,
a-
I'm not carrying this. This is deployed autonomously.
Okay, let's see. No, I don't want a bullywug. What? Oh, okay. It's
The bull is very appropriate because for its an attack, it does Force Ballista, which if it hits, deals 2d8 force damage and pushes anything hit back 5 feet.
all right. Let's see. Getting a lot of bullywugs.
And it's not
Lots of
even the
bullywugs.
cube's final form.
Yeah, no, I.
It has one more form to be seen, but we'll get
It
to
eventually becomes Optimus Bull.
that.
Stand down.
I'm pretty sure at higher levels you can have 2 of these active at the same time.
You're just like
But
a
we're talking
Diablo
like-
necromancer with
Yeah.
mechs.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like playing the
Uh,
engineer class in Torchlight 2.
Let's see. I think everyone agrees that the bulls are the underused minions of the. This is Roll20 is not surprisingly doing weird things. All right, I'm going to give you this, which I think is actually I think this is actually a bull man.
Okay.
But I'm going to give you this for now.
Yeah.
Because
I'm going to go ahead and deploy that. Oh, no, I don't have control yet.
oh wait,
Jump the gun. Trying to take the bull by the horns.
Haha, I see what you did.
Hey,
Wait, I got this. I got this. There you go.
Oh, perfect.
An actual bull. Let me just make it not look so weird. Oh shoot. Okay, I need this to be is a drawing. Yes, that allows me to now bend this as I will. There you go. So now you have not a bull man, but an actual bull, clockwork
That's
bull.
great.
And,
Yes.
let me give you control. So that is. All right, controlled by Northwill.
Okay. And just for record keeping, this is going to last for an hour.
Okay, sounds good. Does it have a hit point, separate hit point total? Do we talk about this?
It does. Hang on. Let me just check the rules here real quick.
Is R20 trying to sell you icons? Very close, Effect Life. I resisted it this time. Damn it.
Yes, it has 15 HP.
15 HP. All right, the Clockwork Bull. All right, strong like bull. All right, sounds
That's
good.
my turn.
All right, and I think it probably keys off of your initiative, like either before you or afterward. I believe. Is what it
Yeah,
is,
I
right?
activate it as a bonus action
Okay.
on my round.
Sounds good. All right, next up is Silvo. Silvo, you have seen these two creatures emerge.
Right. Are they do they look like they're getting out of the pool, or are they sort of like, like big guy at the edge of the pool, like they've got their claws on the edge, but you can't see the rest?
Seems
of
like
them,
they're
or
moving in the
something?
direction of getting on the land, at least somewhat.
Okay, excellent stuff. So there's a minute where Silvo's like, he sees the crocodile head and he sort of goes, oh, all right, cool, we've done this before, all right. And suddenly, at will, because Eldritch Adept, Mage Armor is cast on him. So he's kind of like, all right, I'm spoiling for a bit of a fight. And then the claw, and then the other claw, and then half the body. And he's like, oh. And then he sees one behind him, and then he sees waves get pinched, and then he realizes that they're blocking both of the exits. And for no reason that he can explain, he disappears, casting invisibility on himself.
I see. All right, let's throw an invisibility token. Let's put you like this.
Again, he doesn't control this a lot of the time. Narratively, I control it, but he doesn't control this a lot of the time. But in that instance, he was trapped, so that would have been the best thing for his magic to make him do. So he's gonna vanish.
So Silvo winks out of existence for a moment.
Yeah. There's a literally a moment where he's like, "Yeah, all right, come on, we got this." And he's just gone.
That was your action?
Yep.
Or okay. So movement-wise, what are we looking at?
How far can I move? Give me a second. What's my movement? 30 feet. Okay. 10, 15, 20. If I were to go over... Oh, God, I don't want to go there. 5, 10, 15, can I go here?
Let's see. 5, 10.
How... Sorry, let me just ask a quick question. Could you move this creature so I can see where this pool is and this wall is?
Sure.
Because I don't know where this wall ends. Like, if I could stand here, that'd be great. So that's not too bad. So, like, if I'm stood there, I can still see, like, the claws on the thing, right?
Yes, it might be able to, like, reach around the wall at you, theoretically.
Yeah.
But yes. But beyond
Okay,
that, you have to go to the
okay.
curtain, and then you're going to... Yeah, I mean, you can do that. It's just then you will have lost sight of everyone, but that,
Can I stand sort of in the curtain? Like...
Yeah, probably. It's not going to be... I don't think it'll show you grid-wise, but we can just say that's fine. I mean, you can do that.
No, I'm going to stand there. I just
Okay.
thought there might be a thing, like, if one of the creatures is smart enough to know that there's a human shape.
Well,
in
they
the
may have
curtain.
other senses besides sight.
They may have other
shall
sensors,
see.
and there may be something else in the water. I don't know. That's it. That's me.
The Crabigator father, Crabigator Odin. Anyway, Crab Odin. All right, Odin Gator. All right, so Silva was there, and that leads us to Brian. Fortunately for all you, the Crabigator's initiative rolls were not great. Brian, you see the situation, and it's not great.
Okay, so just to recap so that I can visualize it, this Crocogator, Crabigator is just partially out of the water,
Right.
and has waves in one of its claws.
Right.
And are these distances accurate? So kind of like 10, 15 feet from waves, 10, 15 feet from me.
Yes, although waves is been being pulled in slowly by the claw, to be clear.
Okay.
That was not clear. That wasn't mentioned before. No.
Well, I was just letting it's like a little over, like it's not
You
happening,
That wasn't mentioned.
right now, just pinned in place, but slowly being moved.
Okay. And how tall is the ceiling in here?
Ceilings are actually taller than they are elsewhere, probably about 12 to 13 feet or so about double the height of most of the hallways you've been in so far.
Okay. And where waves is in the hallway, is the ceiling narrowing?
No, it's still the same thing. The ceiling doesn't really narrow until you get to about maybe here, like out of sight almost, from what you can see, and that's where you're leaving the cavern area back into the mines themselves. So the ceiling doesn't really narrow for another 10-ish feet or so.
Okay. So what I would like to do, because Brian is slightly incensed that Waves is being grappled by a very sinister looking unnatural creature.
Yeah.
Is its back turned to me? Obviously, because it's kind of facing Waves, I would imagine.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's back. I'd say that it's sort of turned to the side, so it's kind of in profile to you. I would say, like it's basically facing this direction, like that way.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. And this section here is open.
Yes, it is.
This
Yeah,
is
it's like
not a
basically like
wall.
a stone bridge that's going over this pool of water.
Okay. So Brian is slightly incensed by the fact that Waves has been grappled, and what she would like to do is run both scimitars out and kind of parkour her way up the back of this crocodile and like jab both scimitars into the base of its neck.
Wow. We're going to parkour up the back of an owl. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to grant
I
you.
love this.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grant inspiration on this to Brian if we are sitting at 2744. If we get over 2,800, if we get a donation that brings us over 2,800, I will give inspiration on this awesome ride up the back.
Come
of
on,
the
guys,
crocodile
you can do it,
parkour.
and you get
Come
puppy
on,
cam
you
too.
can do
if
And you
this
get puppy
happens.
cam.
Absolutely.
If you get me to parkour up an alligator and
Hey,
stab it
Elvis.
in the neck,
You want this to happen, Chad? Come on.
come on, come on.
We'll give them a second. We'll give them a few seconds to kind of process what's being offered, the opportunity in front of them. Sometimes it takes a minute, for people to do this. You can donate to Damon Runyon and get a parkour a la Crabba Gator thingabobby plus puppy cam. I mean, listen, that is something that is not to be missed. And obviously, it doesn't have to be just one donation. If we get several donations that bring us over that amount, but 2,800, that's only $55.38 away.
Come on, you can do it.
You
You
can
can
do
do it.
I'm waiting for that. Ta-da! Come on, guys, don't be shellfish. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Don't be
Pixie.
shellfish, Like, there's no reason to try to sneak down some alley way, gator way.
Whilst everyone's deliberating,
Yeah.
Arv, please remind me because my brain is just mush at the moment.
Sorry.
Do I get like 2 attacks, one with each sword?
We
or
got
is
it.
just-
Sorry, I just want to say we got it. Chaotix donated $60. Chaotix, you're awesome. Also, Chaotix
Hey,
is now...
Alex, you're my favorite person ever.
Chaotix is
Thank you.
pushing. Carlos is starting to get close to getting that second donator spot. Thank
Also,
you, Chaotix. That was very nice. of you.
Ryan, don't forget one of your swords is still enchanted by my infusion
Yeah,
as well.
I've got that mapped
Cool.
on my.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you. This is courtesy of the
Yeah.
wonderful Morthwell.
And Prince Justin with another donation right on
I'm afraid I
top of
may have to take it away in a bit, but not at least until next level, because
Thank you.
my build changes.
Thank you, Chaotix, and also thank you to Prince Justin for both those. Chaotix, thank you for that. Chaotix is definitely pushing some serious donation money. Thank you, Chaotix, very much. And Prince Justin, thank you for that donation as well. 2810 now. Great stuff, everybody. And you get Puppy Cam. Emily wants to point out to you, Inanda, that she could see herself with 2 of those Lizzie Crabs as bodyguards. And yeah, like if they're bodyguards, that's fine. But these are the hostile Crab-a-gator things. I'm just saying.
We got to train them. They're like puppies.
It's possible Chaotix wants your print. I would listen as someone who has your print because of your generosity. I wouldn't blame you, Prince Justin. All right, so let's do it. You have got parkour skills. Inspiration it is as you go up the back of this thing.
And I get an
yeah.
attack with each of my scimitars, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you can get, assuming that you get up to the back of this thing, I am going to ask you, however, to make a dexterity check. If you have acrobatics, I would take that as you run up the back of this thing. But either way, you'll get athletics to do that. Oh, sorry.
I would prefer athletics than acrobatics.
I'll give you athletics, sure.
Awesome.
In this case, athletics to get up the back of this thing, and you can make this check at advantage. So
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you to all the donators as well. 22.
22. I think that'll get you up the back. And now you get to attack this thing, which I will also give advantage on because of that inspiration that was given. So go ahead and take your attack on this thing. So you see Brian just like nimbly. Now, are you at the top of this and are you kind of like dramatically sting both scimitar? Like, you tell me, how badass does it look?
This is like she's standing like on shoulder blades, like a foot on each shoulder blade, with 2 scimitars like raised above my. You can't see me because it's puppy can, but raised above my shoulders, and then I'm going to simultaneously slam my scimitars into the base of this alligator's neck by the top of the vertebrae.
Mhm.
Basically,
I
I want
love
to
it.
do as much damage as possible. So am I going to get advantage on both attacks?
Yep. Both
Excellent.
attacks. There you are.
This is the +1 scimitar that was kindly given to me by Morthwell.
Okay.
So 19 with 10 slashing damage.
19 will hit and 10 slashing damage. Okay. All right.
Excellent.
It roars in pain as you connect with one scimitar.
And this is the other scimitar. 20 with
20
8
with 8.
slashing damage.
Okay. So yeah, you slash this thing and it roars, and as it does so, it sort of pulls you, its claw kind of reflexively jerks up. So you're like 9 feet up in the air, Waves, as it like sort of goes like this with its claw because it's like roaring around, which means, Waves, that I'm going to give you a chance to get out of this. Now this is not advantage, but I'm going to give you a chance to escape the grapple. I need from you a strength check to make this happen. Also, we lost somebody.
I'm a bird.
Let's see.
Okay,
Sorry, can't be
strength
dex.
saving row or strength check?
Yeah. Also, and just in answer to a question, I can't show the initiative order because Roll20, it's broken. It's not the right order, so that's why I minimized it. So that's why.
So do you want me to do a strength check or a strength saving throw?
I don't need that from Ananda. This is for Waves breaking out of the claw because your attack has made the creature like lose its focus a bit. So Waves is going to make a strength check.
Okay, doing it now. Critical fail.
Ah, okay. That I can't help you with. Maybe you're just like a little bit. You're like, as you're being thrown around.
I'm just staring at Brian doing her thing and just completely miss my opportunity. Like,
that was amazing. Oh, what a great movie. It's not a movie. Okay. All right, but the good news is Brian has connected both times with his hit. Now, that was the good news. The not as good news is the fact that it is now the creature's turn. I'm not going to ask where you're going to move, Brian, because you just did with your dramatic, awesome parkour move. So, on the back of this thing, it's now going to be the chance for the Crabigators, Revenge of the Crabigators. So, the one that you're dealing with is going to attempt to basically do two things. First of all, it reaches up with one claw, basically flailing for you. And it's going to do this. It's going to make this attack, although it's probably going to do it, I think it's not disadvantage, but it's going to have a negative to hit you because you're on its back and everything. It's like the classic trying to scratch a part of your back you can't reach, that type of deal. Let's see. Oh, jeez. I guess a critical hit would work, though, wouldn't it? So it critically hits you with its claw, unfortunately, Brian. So, shoot, nothing I can do about that. It is going to do to you. All right, that is going to be 6 points of damage, bludgeoning damage. And now you have one of each of you. So it has 2 claws. One is holding Brian and one is holding Waves, just sort of like, very King Kong-y, right? Like holding each of the 2 bodies of you. So you are also now grappled, Brian. In the meantime, the Crabigator is also going to attempt to close its claw upon you, Waves. So it's going to attempt to crush you in its iron grip. Let's see. It's going to have advantage on to hit rolls against you because it is, in fact, grappling you. Okay, that is... Well, the first one would have been a roll of a 2, but the second one was a lot better with a 24, which I'm going to guess is going to hit.
Yeah, that kind of hits.
Going to narrowly
Yeah,
hit.
kind of.
All right, that is going to do a total of... that is another 8 points of damage, Waves, but you can't be any more grappled than you already are, so I guess there's that. Okay. Now it does that, and then Morthwheel, to your horror, I guess you might say, it sort of like lurches out of the water, crushing this other creature below it. Let me just drop that to the back. Yeah.
It will not throw me, right? It will not throw me.
That would have been fun. Oh, let me make a note. No, it's not going to throw you. At least not now. And what it does is it comes out of the water, and then Morthwheel, it lashes its tail at you.
It has a tail.
It has a tail, a very long
There's
tail.
a tail as well? Okay.
It is a tail with very spiky bits on the tail. Let's see. That is... Let's see. Ooh. Well, that would be a 27 to hit.
8
Okay. I would like to take a reaction, please, and cast Shield.
Okay. Go ahead. You can do that.
Yep.
You have to roll to see what the shield thing is, I believe.
No, until the start of my next turn, I have +5 bonus to AC, including against the triggering attack.
Okay, so
+5 takes me up to 23.
Okay, well, I hit with a 27 though. You knew that, right?
Okay, right, yeah. Never mind. Well, I'll still take the cast.
No,
It's
I don't.
okay.
I'm not going to make you cast it. I just you could.
Okay.
You know, it's like it's
Yeah.
a reaction, so I figured you wouldn't want to. I was like, wow, that must be a hell of a shield.
No,
so-
yeah, I'll leave it then. Yeah.
Okay, but that is going to be very useful at some
Thank you.
point.
Mhm.
Okay, so that is going to do as you are hit by this thing. You are going to take 10 points of damage.
Eee.
I need you to make a strength saving throw to see if you can keep from being knocked prone by this tail.
Probably not.
Not so much. You are knocked prone to the ground.
This is going well.
Everything's great.
Everything's
It's
fine.
fine.
Everything is
Nothing to worry
fine.
about.
All right, that was the first Cravacator. So the second one is going to come out. Now, Silvo, you have this horrifying moment where this thing comes out of the water and kind of swings its head around. And there's a moment where you're like, oh, God, like it seems to be looking right at you, but then it turns back and seems to be looking over in the general direction of Morthwill and his bull. And so he comes on this side and is going to... Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. He comes to the side. Let me move that to the bottom. Right. And he is going to attempt to also reach out and grab you. Now, ironically, or not ironically, but fortunately for you, Morthwill, this is actually at disadvantage because you're prone. This claw attack, even though it's technically melee, not ranged. Normally it would get advantage, but this particular creature has a disadvantage on prone creatures dealing with this. So I'm sure that maybe that you'd feel better about that if you weren't lying on the ground in pain, having been knocked over by a tail. But just positive thoughts, sunshiny thoughts. Okay, so it is going to, and a 9 is obviously not going to hit you, right?
Nope.
So its claw goes like clank right next to you as it misses. And then it looks about and it sees two. It actually already sees two of these things like right there, like held in each claw. And then it does something very odd. It looks at the other Crabagator and it goes, and it swipes at the other Crabagator. And the Crabagator, and it seems to be trying to grab for you, Brian. And the other Crabagator is like this. Apparently, they're fighting over their food, if you had to guess. So
I'm
the
a tasty
Crabagator-
snack. What
yeah,
can I
exactly.
say?
Crabagator's like, and the other one is trying to like knock it away. So it does that with its tail swinging around. So that is its turn. That brings us up to the top of the round. Waves, you're in a bit of a pickle, by which I mean in a claw. So I'm going to give you a chance you can take your move action to try to escape this grapple if you want.
Yeah, I don't think I have another use for the move action, so I would like to try to escape the
Okay,
grapple.
go ahead and do that. I'm afraid it is strength.
Is it strength again?
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, it is pulling open the claw. Hey, Kilgore.
Okay, well then, let's see. 19!
Wow.
I feel that is pretty good.
It is very good. That's enough. Can you tell me what it looks like when you open this claw as you're being like waved around?
Okay, so Waves kind of gets her spindly bird legs up and into the claw and more or less like pushes against the other side of the claw with arms and legs and the back against the other claw and then suddenly like bloop, falls through.
You nutcracker it, yes, and just, bonk. You land on the ground. You are going to take a single point of bludgeoning damage, having hit the ground from a bit of a distance. But I'm sure you'd rather have that and be not grappled anymore than be grappled. And you still have your action, actually. You're right near it, and Brian is still being held by this thing.
Yeah, we need to save Brian now.
Yeah. And Morthwill's prone, and Silvo's vanished. And,
Yeah, but I'm on the wrong side of the Crabagator to walk up its back and stab it, which apparently is what you do because I trust Brian's expertise on this. So I'll just
It
stab
worked
it
out
with
so
my.
well for me in the end.
I'm pretty sure, okay, she has been to the sea a lot. She has seen this thing before. You have to attack it that way, but I can't. So I'm just gonna stab it.
Okay, go ahead and stab it, please.
Stab it. I only have the rapier, so I'm gonna get my. Oh no, that's only on the damage. So okay, rapier, normal roll, stab it.
Is that a?
That's an wait, is this?
that
It
an
should be
11?
apparently that's an 11. Yes.
Okay.
Why?
11 is not going
Let's
to hit,
see.
I'm afraid.
What is it? 5 days, 4. Yeah, I rolled a 4 apparently.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is not going to hit. Maybe you're a little bit, sort of thrown off by having just escaped the claw of this creature. But you're not grappled anymore.
So I stand there in front of the crappy gator with my little shield and the little rapier and go like, and that's not helping.
All right, we will see what happens down the line. I won't ask you where do you want to move because you already did by escaping the deadly grapple. Still, that's better than being grappled. Morthwheel, you are prone on the ground. You can always, of course, stand back up if you wish. You are not grappled, and your bull is still there.
Yeah. Right, so, obviously I'm going to stand up. I forget, do I get an action? I haven't been prone in ages. It's my movement to stand, isn't it?
Movement to stand, but then you can get a regular action. Obviously, bonus actions are fine.
Good. So I'm going to reach into my knapsack, and I'm going to pull out my flary gun.
Okay.
And I'm going to point it at an area targeting here, 20 foot by 20 foot cube.
Okay.
And I'm going to fire off my fairy fire canister.
Love
which
it.
Means each object in a 20-foot cube within range is now outlined green. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is outlined if they fail a dexterity saving throw. So those two will need to make checks.
Okay.
If they fail, attacks for the next minute are at advantage.
Okay. What is the center? What is the what's the DC that I'm looking for? And is it
14?
14. And is it Dex or what saving throw
Dex,
is it?
yeah, 14 Dex saving throw.
Okay.
I also very specifically targeted this so it didn't hit Waves or Brine.
Yeah, you mean the one this one here, or you mean
because they would? Yeah, because otherwise they would have both been affected, and the creature would have advantage against them.
That was a good job. Yes, so both of them fail their saving throws. You'll be happy to know they are both now lit in fairy fire.
Nice, a fierce green outline around them.
All
now
right.
the bull is. Oh, hang on, that is not the right tool. Right, the bull is going to move to here and make an attack against this one, the popular one.
Okay.
He's going to throw out Force Ballista at advantage. So we've got a 17 and a 19.
Both hit.
Okay.
Either one. Okay, good stuff. And damage.
So that's 11 points of damage, and I want to push it 5 feet back into the pool.
Okay. Let me get that damage done. So 11 points of damage.
Yeah.
And I've been hit a few
It's just
times.
a glow between the bull horns and a little charging noise, and then a zip.
Nice.
Just a ball of light strikes it.
And it just and it goes back in the water. I can imagine Waves being happy, particularly happy that the thing's not clawed with brine there, since the creature is kind of, dipping accidentally brine in the water repeatedly. But I mean, it's brine. It's not a big deal. So being pinched by a claw is a big deal, maybe, but other than that, that might have been bad for Waves, but no problem for Brian in this case. Okay, so it does that. Good work. And so that was the Clockwork Bull's turn. That was Morthwheel's turn. And that is going to lead us to Silvo is up next with Brian on deck. Silvo, what would you like to do? Oh, invisible one.
Right. Okay. I'm just bear with me a second. I'm just going to roll a d6 for no reason whatsoever.
Roll number 1. Is that your number 1? Is that?
That's my that's my number 1. Okay. Right. Silvo winks back into existence in the corridor, and he sort of goes, "All right, come on, you can do this. You can do this." He's gripping his dagger so hard that he's pretty sure he's bleeding on the handle.
Okay.
And he's closing his eyes, and he's looking at both of the crabs, and he's closing his eyes as high as he can, and he's trying to cast a spell, and he's gonna cast bear with me. He's gonna cast Nethir's Mischief. You fill a 20-foot cube you can see within range with Fey and Draconic magic, made of from the Mischievous Surge table. So buckle in, folks. 20-foot cube, 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, so similar to the cube that Saber just drew.
That I just deleted. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I can do that. So it's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20. Right? So, oh god, no, delete that one. I want to move this one because I want it to try and hit both of them. Can I not hit both of them? I can't hit both of them, can I?
Well, no. If you're trying to set up a 15-foot cube, no, you can hit
20
both of them.
20-foot cube, and I don't want to get.
Oh, you don't want to get them?
brine
No.
or
Then that's going to
waves.
be hard to get both of them. You would, I
Okay.
think, even if you like sort of. Let me see if you. What's the range on it?
That's a really good question. 60 feet.
Okay, so that's not a problem. I'm trying to think you could. Well, no, but then you'd hit Morthwill. I think there's
Then I
not.
would,
There's
yeah.
not. Well, okay.
There's
I'll
not
tell you
a
what.
way of doing this.
There is one way to get either one. You could. You'd be moving through a threatened square, but you could move, like, say, here, and then you could
Sorry,
cast
I wasn't
it
looking. Okay.
here, and then you could cast it down here. But it would
But
still,
if I
and
move
miss
from
them.
here to here, then I'm going to get an attack of opportunity.
No,
don't
no, you're not. You would if you left that square. But you're going to be, if you just enter it, that's not a big deal. The creature's not going to go after you. Although I guess it might see you casting a spell. It's probably not going to. It's got enough to worry about. This
Wait,
down here is the problem.
If I move here, did you say?
Mhm.
How am I going to cast a spell that hits both of these?
You're not. No, I'm saying what I said was you can't hit both, but you could choose which one to hit. If you move to that
okay.
other square, you could hit this one with brine. You wouldn't.
Okay.
You'd miss brine, but you would hit the creature, or you could hit this one. So
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll hit this one.
Okay.
I'll cast it where it is, basically.
Okay. Sounds
Right. So a big old square of draconic and fey magic just floods the area, and now I need to roll a 1d4 because I have no control over what it does. It's a 4. I don't know what that means. Thick drops of molasses hover in the cube, making it difficult terrain until the start of your next turn.
Okay. So the creature. Okay, interesting. So the creature is going to be going through molasses.
Yep.
I'm.
So a cube of floating treacle particles just starts hovering around the other crab.
And the creature is like. "Brr, brr, brr, yeah, it tastes terrible. Brr, brr." Okay.
Can you remind me what difficult terrain actually means? Because I've forgotten.
Difficult terrain basically means that it cuts your movement significantly. I think it cuts it in half, if I'm not mistaken.
Got it.
And these things, don't move super far, at least not
Cool.
above ground, so or above land. Okay, so you did that, and then are you moving anywhere?
Nope.
Okay,
Staying
so
exactly where I am.
staying exactly where you are.
Yep.
Okay, that's going to lead us to Brian. Brian, you are currently held by a claw. So you can try to make an escape as your move action, just like Waves did, if you wish.
Or I can just use both of my attacks.
No, your attack you'll be able to get regardless, which would be 2 attacks. If you take the attack action, but your move action could be used to try to escape. So you could still attack after that.
I would like to use my move action to try and escape.
And, maybe some people like to be in a claw. I don't know.
I mean, it is Saturday, so, but no, I'd like to try and escape, please.
All right. So, yeah, go ahead and make for me, please, a strength check to try to escape this thing.
6.
You're like, it does not. You are not able to open its claw, but you can still make your attacks on it. Grapple does not mean incapacitated.
Okay, I'm gonna attack with my non-morph-wielded scimitar first.
Okay.
23.
Yeah.
Don't forget your
absolutely.
advantage as well because of fairy fire.
Right. That's right. Yep.
Ah, yes. I mean, 23 should
Might as
hit
well roll
anyway.
again, just in case.
Well, you might crit.
In case of crit hit. Yeah. No. Okay.
No,
Let's
I
take
did not
that.
crit. So that was 9 slashing damage.
Yep. This
and
thing's starting to look a
then
little
add-
messed up, by the way. You can see lots of pieces of shell have fallen off it and scale. And, yeah, it's starting to look kind of messed up, Brian.
Awesome. And then advantage with my Morthwield scimitar. Oh,
Hey!
I crit then.
Hell yeah. What's the maximum damage you could theoretically do on that one?
1d6 plus 4.
So 10 maximum. All right. Well, you will be... so 10 more damage. Yeah, now this thing is starting to look quite hurt, kind of roaring around. You can see a lot of this sort of thick green ichor bubbling out of its wounds, and you've done a lot of damage to this thing. Okay, good stuff, Brian. I won't ask you where to move because you're clawed. But, so what it's going to do on its turn is and it disappears below the water. Now, while it does this, you Waves can get an attack of opportunity on it as it tries to zip out of the way.
Yes, I would like to hit it. Do I get this at advantage because of the fairy fire?
Yes. Still fairy fired.
Okay. Click.
Now we can see it
Here.
underwater, unlike when I botched it with the croc.
Click.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Advantage.
I forgot that you tried that.
19 and a 17.
Absolutely, we'll hit with a 19. Yep.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll your damage.
Yes. I somehow closed my thingy. That wasn't smart. So that's 1d8 plus 7. 11.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, so you strike it a solid blow through the throat as it sort of sinks below. And Brian, again, because fortunately you are less affected by this than others would be under the water. But as you're under the water, you can see this sort of bubbling liquid, dark liquid coming from these wounds. It looks quite hurt. Okay. And it does that, and it disappears from view. Now, Brian knows... Whoops. What the heck? That's not what I meant to do. There we go. Brian knows, of course, where the creature is going, but none of the rest of you do. Let me see what the... Okay, so, let's see. Right. Okay, so it is going to go...
I think I know what it's going to do. I've played a lot of video games.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, emerging from the water behind you, Morthwill, and behind your bull, this thing comes up. And I guess I'll reveal a little more of the area so we can see all that. And it is going to attempt to attack you with its non-occupied claw, basically.
Okay.
So it's going to try to claw you. Let's see. And it is going to get... That is a 27. This thing has been rolling really well.
Jeez. Yeah, that's a hit. No shield's going to help with that.
No. Sorry. I kept being like, oh. All right. All right. That is, let's see. That is going to do another 8 points of damage. And the worst part of it is the fact that kablam, you are again clawed. You are now grappled. So you now, it has, on the other side of the bridge, now Brian and you in its claws. This seems to be a popular attack for this thing. And your bull is obviously still there on the ground.
Moo.
Yeah.
Brian's just going to look at Morthwill and shrug. We're like...
Morthwill just waggles his expressive eyebrows.
You hear as well?
Here we are again.
Oh, look at us.
Okay, this creature in the meanwhile is going to go down towards Waves, which is a functional target that is sitting in front of it, pulls itself out onto the land. This is the other crabigator, and it's going to attempt to, this time what it's going to try to do is it reaches down to bite you, Waves, which I think is the first time that you have been attacked with the bite by this thing. So
By this thing, yes.
Yeah, no, you've been bitten by other things, I'm aware. Okay, that is an 18.
I've got a 19.
Yeah. I like the idea.
So I
that
just like
yeah.
I slam my little shield like on its nose, like poke, 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 go away.
I like the idea that its teeth like score the outside of the shield, like just miss, like with the thing, and it roars in anger, and then with its second attack tries to hit you with its tail, and so let's see, and
Can I just jump over the tail?
well, we're gonna find out if that happens based on what it does here. I don't know. I think a 23 is probably gonna hit you with the tail. Am I right? Let's see. That is going to be right.
I feel really bad about going into this room now.
You are going to take 13 points of damage from that, Waves, and I need you to make a strength saving throw to see if you are knocked
13.
prone or not.
Let me just deduct this from my health points. Then I'll do a strength saving throw.
What's up, Rusarasa? Vegetarian.
11?
11 is not, I'm afraid, going to save against being knocked prone. So you are knocked prone. You don't take additional damage. You're just on the ground being like, questioning your last 5 minutes of your life choices.
Yeah, I do. Very much so.
Okay. That's going to bring us down to, so both of those guys have gone. That's going to bring us to you, actually, Waves. You are lying on the ground prone before this thing, fairy fired. And the other one that was holding you, very hurt, is now on the other side where Morthwill is. And holding Morthwill like it's two trophies, Brian and Morthwill.
Okay. This thing just, is it still like has its back turned so I just look at its tail, or is it trying to eat me again?
No, it just swung its tail around at you, but it is facing you directly.
I don't want to die. So I would like to get up and kill it.
Okay. That sounds like a plan. I'm here for it.
Yeah, me too.
So, okay, so you stand up, no problem, and you can make your attack against it.
Yeah, okay.
And you have an advantage against it, remember, because of the fairy fire.
Yeah. Let's see, come on.
Damn, that's useful.
Submit. 18 and 17?
18 will hit for sure. Yep.
Okay. I should not have opened my character sheet in a different window. This was stupid of me. Okay, then it's 14 points of damage.
Very nice. Okay, so you strike it and... sorry.
Yeah, no, I know.
As you hit it.
Yeah, no, wait.
Yeah, that's better. That sounds less like my, Tristan from Diablo sound or whatever. Stay a while and listen to my roaring like an alligator. That was much better. Okay. So, good stuff, Waves. So you've already moved because you stood up, and that's going to lead us to Morthwill. Morthwill, you are currently grabbed. You can try to, on your move, make an escape if you wish. That would be your move action to do that.
Well, but on the subject being clawed, fairy fire's concentration, so I assume I've got to make a check on that.
Yes, that would be the case. And yeah,
okay.
I probably
what do I need
notice
to
that
roll?
a turn from now, so yes.
Yeah, what do I need to roll for that?
So if you're going to make Constitution, you're going to need to make a Wisdom saving throw. So
Wisdom,
you should be able to.
Okay. 16.
Yep, that's
okay.
fine. So
the
it does
fairy
stay
fire
up.
endures.
Yeah. Fairy fire endures along with... So you have a fairy fired thing clawing you.
Well, I may as well take my move to try and break free.
Okay.
Okay. So what have we got to roll again? Was that a strength check?
That would be a strength check. Reminder, chat, that we're only $190 away from 3,000 today, which would be pure dramatic. And given the reality of Morthwill, who is very, very clawed with a 2, they
have
players
no strength
may need some more
modifier.
help. I will say also that I will grant inspirations to the players if we reach the $3,000 mark. That is in addition, of course, to the dog cam and all the other amazing things, plus that you're supporting cancer research, so there's that. But beyond that, I will give the players inspirations in this fight, collectively as a party, if we reach that $3,000 level. Okay, having said that, as you remain clawed, you can still make your attacks or do whatever you like with.
Which is good, because I'm going to try and hit it in the face with a firebolt at point-blank range.
All right, I love it.
And I blast it in the face for a 17.
Yes, that hits directly in the face.
And that's going to deal 5 points of damage.
Okay, so it is looking very hurt, sort of kind of wavering around, has not dropped you, or Brian, but it definitely looks very, very hurt.
And the bull's going to turn to face it, and it's going to fire a point-blank force ballista at it, which is going to hit for 19.
Hit as well. You've been hitting this thing a lot, at least. Yep.
Well, 4 points of damage.
Okay. Okay, yeah. It looks now like a stiff breeze might blow it over. It's very close to death.
I guess I'll push it 5 feet in... Oh, hang on, I'm still on draw. 5 feet in this direction.
Okay, so like that?
Yeah,
okay,
exactly like that.
All right. Lovely. Good stuff, Morthwill. It's sort of odd because you're like pushing it... Like, you're, like, dragged along as you but the bull is the thing that's doing it.
Bull doesn't care.
Yeah, the bull doesn't care. That's right. Yeah, that's right. It's the bull that's doing it. Okay. Good stuff, though. That was quite effective. Silvo, you can see that things are...
Oh, I imagine it dragged me as well.
Still a mess. Yeah. Yep.
There's still a lot of stuff going on. All of my friends are in pain and are being hurt. So there's a lot of emotions going on right now. So I'm going to just roll a d6 for no reason. What does that mean?
Is that the destroy all crabigators in a 100-foot radius spell?
No, but it
Okay.
does mean. So basically, I should probably explain what that means. Because I don't want to have too much agency in regards to because I know what spells I want to cast to get us out of this situation. Silvo doesn't, but he's kind of getting to grips with magic.
Yeah.
So I've listed the non-utility spells because I don't want to cast, like, I don't know, distort value. Do you know what I mean? On the crab. So I've listed the
Suddenly the crab
non-util-
is like,
Yeah.
Morthwill isn't worth that much. Like, listen, actually.
I really want to cast, like, there's some really killer apps in Silvo's repertoire. I really want to cast these, but what I've done is I've written them down. I've written the combat spells down on a list. There's 6 of them, so I'm just going to roll a d6,
Okay.
and I'm just going to see what happens. Now, this one happens to be sleep, so we'll see what happens. I am going to take the opportunity to cast it at 2nd level, because why not? Actually, do you know what? 1, 2, 3, it's at 1st level. 4, 5, 6, it's at 2nd level. It's at 1st level, that's fine. Which means... because I've forgotten how sleep works. I'm not wearing my glasses.
I can tell you if you want.
Okay, thank you.
Within 20 feet of a point that you choose within range. So basically,
Yep.
that's the creature. Well, if you're, I assume then you'd be aiming at like the creature in front of you. So I assume.
Is it like a cone? Is it a cube? Is it a circle?
It is. It's basically all creatures within 20 feet of a point that you choose within range.
Of a point. So
And then
it's
what
like a
happens is
dome.
it's based on hit point totals. So it affects a certain number of hit points, and then it takes the largest creature first with the most hit points, and then it works down from there. So if a creature is damaged first and has fewer hit points, it's more likely to be affected by this than one that has not been damaged particularly. This has been damaged some, so you don't know whether this would work or not. It might. You don't know.
So 20 foot, for 20 feet from a point I choose.
Right, because the range. I'm sorry. Yes, the range is 90 feet. So creatures within
10,
20 feet of a point you
20,
choose. So you
5,
could,
10.
because you can see these things, they're super tall. You could hit this if you wanted.
I'm going to aim up so that I aim sort of here. If you can see that.
Yeah, I think so. You're trying to hit the 2 big ones, right? Obviously.
I'm trying to hit. Yeah, I'm trying to hit the 2 things that are eating my friends.
Yes, I think you can. I think you can do it.
Yeah.
Yep. But
I
again,
don't know
warning
if this
though.
is-
Warning about sleep though.
Yeah. Yep.
Remember that sleep starts with the creature with the most hit points. So if you
Okay.
aim at the no, I take that back. I'm totally wrong. It's the lowest current hit points. Never mind. Forget
Okay.
what I said. So it would be the creature that's most hurt that it would affect first. Sorry. So then yes.
Okay, and you said that this one looks pretty messed up.
Very messed up.
Very messed up. This one looks kind of. Okay.
Yeah.
Does this
Somewhat hurt,
affect
but not.
non-hostile creatures?
Yes.
It does. Oh, shit. Okay.
Creatures.
Creatures. All creatures, not just.
Yep.
Creatures into a magical slumber.
It won't
Okay,
affect the
well,
bodies.
It won't affect the body. That's very true. Okay, cool. I'm going to aim it here. So they kind of. I'm just going to aim it up above this one. Silvo doesn't know aiming at this point, so it's above this one, and it's going to be sort of here, so it will catch both of these.
Got it. Okay.
You can do DM math. For that one.
Yeah. That's good. So
what do-
now
what
I
do
need
you
you to roll. I need you to roll 5d8.
5d8.
That's the
that's
total
not.
of how
that's
many
not
hit
damage.
points is
Sorry,
being
ignore
affected.
that.
It's not damage, no.
5d8. There you go. 5d8 for a total of 32.
That is a
This
very
good.
good roll. That is
That's a
3
good
8s,
roll.
a 7, and a 1, but
Oh
still.
my god.
Okay, so this creature here, let's start with this one. This creature here goes and just sinks below the waves. That's the good news. The bad news is that as it sinks, it drags 2 creatures with it. Now, one of them is brine.
Bollocks.
One of them is brine, and the other one is Morthwill. You just get to hear, oh, bollocks. It's like Morthwill goes. So this creature basically vanishes below the waves, and then this one
Does
is
it not
here.
let go?
Not yet. We'll see what happens
Okay.
when it goes below. Nope. So that's the good news. This creature is like, and then turns around and faces you, Silvo, and just stares directly at you. Opens its mouth and
I think I made it mad. Can I move?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and yes, you can move. I just wanted to let that hang in the air. Okay, where are you moving to? Like,
Yeah, I've already moved. I'm moving into the center of the sort of
hang on a
hallway
second.
bit that we came through. So I'm past the curtain.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, and I will note that because I have two windows up on my screen, one is the player one is my GM one. Sometimes if I don't have the player, I wish it would do this anyway in the background, but it doesn't unless you have the focus on the window. So it means that sometimes it looks like this player screen is frozen when it's just that I haven't switched over to it. So anyway, so okay, you did that. That was great. You moved there. That's wonderful. And that's going to lead us to Brine, who is up next. Now, Brine, this creature is basically asleep, and you would get you could basically get advantage. I mean, you already had advantage because of Fairy Fire, but you could get advantage again on attacking it because it was close to death anyway, and now is asleep, so it can't resist you regardless. And you can see Morthwill over there, I assume, holding his breath for all it's worth on the other side.
Knew I should have
Okay.
made a cap of water breathing.
I mean, he's not going to like immediately go into rigor mortis and grab onto Morthwill. If I kill him, he's going to let him go, right?
Right, and in fact, you would have a very good chance to escape his grapple too because he's asleep. I should have mentioned that.
Okay. I would like to jab him with both of my scimitars with advantage as
Let's do
quickly
it.
as possible before Morthwill drowns.
Yep. Hashtag save Morthwill. Let's do it.
Okay, so this is the Morthwill scimitar first at advantage, which is 22
Absolute hit.
with 9 slashing.
Okay, we'll talk about what happens when you hit with the other. We'll see what happens when you do the other one too. Let's just calculate it all.
Okay. Again with advantage, that would be 23 with 8 slashing.
You slash it and it's and just this bubbling dark liquid comes up. For a moment, I guess, Waves, you probably would be able to see from your position this sort of dark liquid bubble in the water, and perhaps you might think the worst, but the reality is that Brine has killed this thing, and as it does so, its claws release, and Morthwill, you and Brine are both, if you wish, able to come back up to the surface. Actually, Morthwill, what armor are you wearing?
Oh, you
I swim very, very fast. I'm going to use
Oh,
my
no.
movement
Scale
to go
mail.
get Morthwill
Yeah.
out of the water.
Good work. And you know what? Actually, it was a good thing that you attacked first, Brian, because that meant that you released it without having to use your move to try to get out of the claw. Now that it released you automatically, you can go over and get him before we had the whole I'm wearing armor in water thing.
I did have an action surge in my back pocket just in case.
That was pretty sweet. Yes, you have him. So you're able to sort of climb it. Now, you could probably 5, 10, 15. You had only gone down like 5, maybe 8, 9 feet. So you could probably get here if you wished, like to the stairs, basically these stone steps, if you wanted to. Or, I mean, the dock is just up a little bit, so you'd have to like push him up or something. But the stairs you could just roll him onto, basically, if you wanted. Or you could,
Yeah,
I mean, you could also go here. It's up to you, Brian. These water areas are all connected, so.
I'm going to bring Morthwill here, where we are not in a kind of attack zone as such with the other one, but close enough to be able to next turn. I would also now...
Move you there, Morthwill.
Can I use my action surge now to attack the other one?
Let's see where you are. I mean, you're like 15 feet away. And I feel like the move of swimming to getting him, pulling him up on the stone is probably a full move, along with you getting on the dock. So I don't think you'd be able to attack him from where you are unless you have a ranged attack that you wanted to do.
I have a crossbow.
Okay, you could pull it out and fire away if you wish, sure.
Yeah, go for it. I will go for the eyes, boo. I will.
And
I
it's
will-
fairy fired, so you can still get advantage.
And it's still with advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for my action surge, I am going to Oh,
Hey,
crit.
look at that. Another positive, by the way, Morthwheel, is because you were released before we got to your turn, we didn't have to make another concentration check, so that was helpful. All right, so max damage. So what is that going to be? Light crossbow for you would be?
Max damage is 1d8 plus 2.
So it'd be 10. All right, 10 points of damage. All right, so you strike it, and it kind of roars and kind of turns back around. At least as soon as I can find where I put the thing that moves it. Oh, there we go. No, that's not it. This thing. Aha, there we are.
I was just watching it Bethesda into the wall then.
This is the pre-mod Crabagaler, let's say. We're just kidding. Much love, Bethesda, of course. Okay. So, so it turns in your direction and roars in anger, but you have hit it, Brian. That was a pretty good turn, all things considered, I think. Okay, so you don't have anywhere else to move, though, because we already did that. Now it's going to move, and what it does is it's going to start coming towards you and Morthwheel. It's going to move up here. Let me just move that to the bottom.
Come on!
I just got... it's actually... It looks like it's trying to get to Brian, actually. It's going to shoot out a claw. Again, not actually shoot. And we're... Oh, no, poor Morthwheel. It's a 25. Oh, wait. Is that enough? Oh, no, your AC shield doesn't get you that far, does it?
Oh, I've only got an AC of 16.
Oh, right, because Morthwheel is one of the shield. Yeah, okay, so it shoots out a claw, and it grabs you again, Brian. I'm sure you're tired of this game, but, this thing, but that's what it does. And, let's see, it is going to do... it's not happy with you. It's going to do 10 points of damage. It is not happy with you, and you are once again, I'm sorry to say, grappled by this thing. Then it's going to try to reach out and claw Morthwheel. But you'll be glad to know that it's going to miss you terribly with a 7, Morthwheel. So
Very, very glad.
about freaking time. Okay, that brings us back to the top of the round. This is somewhat hurt. There's only one of them left. And chat, we have 10 minutes left in this, 10 minutes left in our session. So now's the time to get in these donations. Remember, if we get to 3,000, that's $190 from now, I will give all of the party inspirations. If you want to see them beat this Crabagator in 10 minutes, let's get those donations going. Waves, you are up.
See us out in style, chat. Come on.
Come on, we can do it.
Okay, is the Crabagator still glowing?
Yes, still fairy fired.
But not sleeping because
He's
it's
not
not like sleepwalking or
No,
anything.
sadly not.
Okay, Wait, can I intimidate No, maybe it doesn't have enough brain to be intimidated.
I'd love to see the attempt, but I don't know.
Yes, because it's not looking at me, I thought I could make the big crocodile noise. But I will just run up to it and poke it again.
Okay.
So, poke. I'm gonna move the thing in a moment.
Okay. Hey, look at that. That is
Yeah.
220s, not natural, but they will both hit for sure.
Yeah, they're
So they hit.
still. So, and then we're gonna do the damage. Oh, 8.
Well, I mean, that's not nothing.
Yeah, I rolled a 1 on damage, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're disappointed. All right. So you kind of stab it in the back. It kind of roars and sort of half turns around in your direction.
Does it?
Like that. Still
If
holding.
it looks at me, I want to hiss at it.
Oh, yeah, it's looking at you.
Yeah, then I'm gonna hiss at it.
It's got brine to one side.
we go.
Wait a minute. Oh, see, and Peripheral, thank you. Peripheral Mike is very kind of you. Peripheral Mike, if he hasn't done enough already for this thing, has contributed $129.10. Look at that, chat. $90 shy of the 3,000 threshold. Very nice. Thank you, Mike, very much.
Come on, people, we can do this. Outshine me. Come on.
You can make this happen. Let's go, chat. $90 away. Okay, so turns back around, roars at you after you have hit it, and that's going to lead us to Morthwheel, who is currently in its claw. You missed the claw, so Morthwheel is not in its claw. You can act freely, Morthwheel.
Okie dokie. Well, if I move, I get an attacking opportunity against me, so I am just going to unleash a firebolt at anything that was vaguely flammable.
Okay.
And probably not much on a giant underwater monster, but where
Yes.
will this hurt most?
Yeah, sure. Right at his face, probably, I imagine.
Yeah.
Worked last time.
18?
18 will hit right in its face.
Hit it in the face for 3 damage. Fire.
Okay. Does not like that.
Yep. And then the bull is going to turn to face it, but it's also going to move, because it can move 15 feet, so...
Okay.
There.
Okay.
And it's going to force ballista this git.
Force ballista?
12.
No, 12 is not going to be enough, I'm afraid to say. Oh, wait, it's... No, isn't it advantage?
Advantage.
Very fine.
Yeah.
And actually,
Crap,
you
yeah.
could have done that with the other... You should do that for your firebolt
bolt.
as well, just to
Fine.
see if you critical hit
That's
it.
a good point. Nope.
Oh, okay, so never mind about
And
that.
Force ballista. Oh,
Well,
well.
sorry.
Can't
I
all be
can't
winners.
that I can't help you with. Okay, good stuff. That was that. And that, do you want to move anywhere, Morthwell? Now, you can't move too far without, but you could disengage 5 if you wished.
Yeah, I'll disengage 5 this direction then.
Sounds good. Okay. That is going to lead us to Silvo, and Brian is on deck. Silvo, this thing has been hurt.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Silvo's going to move to here and sort of,
Peek
because
through
as
the
far as
curtain.
he's aware, this crab is right behind this curtain.
Right.
He's going to sort of peek around the curtain, see that it's not there.
Right.
But see, now everyone's up, aren't they?
Yes. Well, right. Everyone is up in the sense that they're not unconscious.
Well, they're not
Waves
unconscious,
is fighting
and
it.
they're not pinned, are they?
No, Brian is currently clawed, I believe.
Brian is currently clawed. Okay.
But Morthwell is not, and Waves is not.
Okay, I have a not in great peril but in danger roll to make.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 24. Cool. That's awful. Just rolling a dice. Bear with me. 2. That means it's okay. That I don't know if this will work. So Silvo is gonna squeeze his eyes really, really tight, squeeze with his hands together, and cast Infestation as a cantrip. You cause a cloud of mites, fleas, and other parasites to appear momentarily on one creature you can see within range. Range is 30 feet. I'm in range, aren't I?
Yes.
5, 10, 15. Yeah, I'm in range. The target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 poison damage and move 5 feet in a random direction.
Interesting. Okay, let's see. It sure does not make a con saving throw. At least I don't know what the DC is, but I'm guessing a 6 is
14.
not going to get it done. Yeah, okay.
No,
so
it's
yeah,
probably-
it's infested. All right. So
Okay,
go ahead and roll
excellent
damage.
stuff. So 1d6 poison damage.
Okay.
So 1d6. And that's a
Aw, thank you,
2.
Saber.
2.
And look at that. We have hit $3,000. Huzzah!
Yay.
Let's go. Inspirations
Excellent,
for
Saber.
everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Saber. That's very
And
kind
I
of you.
need to roll a 1d4 to tell you in which direction it moves. So 1
Huzzah!
it moves. If it can move north 5 feet, it moves north 5 feet.
Okay, it will do that. So, how much damage did you say? I'm sorry.
2 points of poison damage.
2 points of poison damage. Okay, and then it's going to move 5 feet. Also, quick note: they are now $102 away from being the top earning group this ArvCon so far.
Are we? Oh my
$102
days.
away. Yep.
$102
Come on,
away,
folks.
people. $102 away.
Okay, so 5. Let's see. Let me.
That's less than $103.
I know,
That's
right?
true. See what you did there. So it moved 5 feet that way. Let me reveal a little bit more of the area. Okay. Right. Yep. Okay. It did that. Silva, are you moving anywhere?
No, I moved towards the curtain.
Okay. Brian, you are up. Actually, you went with it. Sorry. Wait.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm being dragged along with it, right?
Yeah. You're basically here. Okay. So you can try to escape. You can try to attack it. It has been hurt. It's not. It's hurt. It's not as hurt as the other one was, but it's definitely hurt.
Okay, I'm going to try to escape, and then I'm going to attack.
Okay. Go ahead and make your strength check, please. Not saving throw, but a check.
This isn't with advantage, though, right?
No, because this is not a fairy. Well, actually, no, I take that back. Yeah, because you're inspired, because you got inspiration from hitting 3,000. So, yes, it is at advantage, assuming you use your inspiration for this, which I imagine you would.
I absolutely am.
Okay.
18.
Okay, that will work, yes. You push your way out, and it drops you. You land, let me see. Where were you at the time? Brian, you can actually choose to fall in the water. So unlike waves, I don't think you would take damage here. You would just drop in the water and then you could like climb right out because it's right at the edge. So you don't take damage here. So now your move is done, but you're out and you could now attack if you wish.
Okay, and then I would like to attack with both of my scimitars. Again, it's an advantage.
Because of Fairy Fire, yep.
Because of Fairy Fire. So this is the non-Morthwheel scimitar. Which, again, I got a crit.
With the crits, my God. Yes, that hits. So
My goodness.
10 damage, you said, right? For 8 is max damage.
1d6 plus 3 for that scimitar.
9. Okay, right. All right, that hurted.
And then the other one is 15.
15 will hit. 14 would not have.
With 9 slashing damage.
Okay, now it's looking quite hurt as your slashes carve into its side. And we got what? Sharian just donated $102.01. I see what we did right there. 310201, and GOG group surges into the lead of the top donating group. Thank you, Sharian. Also, Sharian
Thank
now
you,
making
Sharian.
some serious.
Sharian, you're the man.
Sharian making some serious inroads on that top donor prize too, by the way. So make sure you check back here later on when we have a chance to add this all up, Sharian. Good stuff, Sharian. Let's go. GOG coming representing today. Okay, good stuff. So you did that. Very good stuff. Now it is the creature's turn. This creature is hurt and it is getting a little freaked out, actually. So it is going to grab with Brine. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't have Brine, does it? It's going to move this way. Brine, you're going to get an attack of opportunity as it moves out of your way because it's trying to bail.
I'm assuming just with one scimitar.
No, you can get 2 scimitar attacks on this thing as it's on its way out.
With the Fairy Fire, do I get advantage on both as well?
Yes.
Ah,
With Fairy
awesome.
Fire and the benefit of Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation, ArvCon. Yes.
Excellent. So this is the non-Morthwheel scimitar first.
You are winning by 1 cent, Sharian. Yes, we are. Okay. 21 and a... Okay, so that 21 will hit. Yep.
21 with 6 slashing damage.
Yep.
And then the other one is going to be 12.
12 is not going to hit, I'm afraid. So this one gets out here and then roars, but it's kind of bubbling like roll. And it sinks below the water. And there is a moment's silence as everything just sort of kind of settles and you're all sort of like, like staring at each other and looking around. And then from somewhere deep within the recesses of this mine and coming over the water, you hear echoing. Does not sound like an alligator. It sounds very much like the moan of the dead. And that will finish our session today.
The cliffhanger!
And Mike donates nice to the research amount with $69.69. Let's go. That was tremendous timing.
The tone of the evening had been quite serious. I thought I'd just bring it back down to my level.
Well
Nice.
done. That is spectacular. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Thank you very much for the generosity, Mike. Well, folks, I don't know about you, but there's nothing like a badass combat that you got hurt in, but won. You did win. Let's be clear, you did win. To make people feel good about stuff. Not to mention that you also raised the most money of any group so far. We are now at $31.71.70. That was awesome.
ST team.
Absolutely great. I am going to start at the bottom of the column with Inanda, and then I'll work my way up. And I'm going to leave the map up just so we can see everybody there just kind of like, is everyone okay? Is everyone okay as they're looking around? Let me start with Ananda at the bottom. Ananda, thank you both for you and for River with Dog Cam. Please give extra pets today, thanks to River. Great stuff today out of Brian, and you were like absolutely wailing away at this thing. I mean, you must have crit at least twice, maybe 3 times. You did tons
I
of
think
damage.
more than that on some of the other rolls as well.
Yeah, you were just like on fire with the die roll, which I suppose that they're being clawed by a massive crabigator as a way of focusing the mind, maybe. But in any case, that was super impressive, and your sort of having the sense of seeing the wire also helped you all not get blown up in a mine trap as well. How did you feel about today's mysterious mine searching session, and where will the fine folks find you next?
I absolutely had a blast. Thank you once again, Arv, not only for today's session, but for the whole event and for everything you do at ArvCon. I had an absolute blast. This was so much fun. And usually I'm worried about Brian teetering on death's door with these kind of combats, but she held her own today. I was really chuffed. But yeah, absolute blast. So much fun. Parkouring up the back of a crab alligator.
That was awesome.
It's going to be a highlight.
Yep.
This week is going to be a little bit hectic for me, but I'll be back on my own channel. I'm really focusing on Skyrim at the moment because I'm loving it. River is obviously very, very pleased that she was a small part in helping raise money for this fantastic cause. And yeah, thank you so much once again, Arv. I absolutely loved it.
Well, thank you, Nanda, for being a big part of it, and I really appreciate it. And my best wishes and thoughts as well to your friend's mom. And I know exactly what that's like, so hang in there. And yeah, this is doing some active good to try to address the way that we feel otherwise. So thank you, Nanda. Moving right out the line. Mike, I'll tell you what, there was some very entertaining stuff in there, and then there was some very useful stuff too. The sleep spell was surprisingly useful and worked out just well enough to keep everybody from getting, crushed even further. Even the infestation was a lot of fun. The role play in general was fun of Silvo, of course, about what Silvo would actually do in combat. It was fun to kind of see the wheels turning as you were in the process of doing this. But it worked. Basically, people are hurt, but everything's fine. You're all fine. How did you feel about that? And thank you for your incredible generosity as well for the gifts and so on. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the fine people find you next?
Oh, mate, I adored it. I always adore these sessions. That everyone knows that. I absolutely love this group. You're like the family I never asked for. It's absolutely fantastic. I hope one day. There's a dream I've got that one day we can do this in person at some point, and I would absolutely love for that to happen. And I don't know, do more good is what the sort of the feeling I've had for a while with streaming and with everything, with content creation, and this event ArvCon. It just, yes, as someone who lost a parent to cancer when he was quite young, it's very much a case of do more good and just do the best you can, basically. So I'm really happy that I can be a part of it in any small way. Is just fantastic. Very quickly, if you want to catch me, you can catch me on my channel. I'm probably going to be playing before Friday. Friday's my normal slot, 5 p.m. till 7:30 BST, but I'm probably going to be playing beforehand because I'm incapacitated. No, that's not the right word. Indisposed on Friday. I might be incapacitated, I'm not sure. But I'm indisposed. But we're going to be playing some weird indie horror games. So yeah, if that's your bag, maybe chuck us a follow. So, but yeah, absolute much love to everyone, and thank you very much for everyone who donated. And hopefully, we'll catch up with Silver and the rest of the team next time.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Mike. Great stuff as always. Thank you as well, Saber. And I have to say, first of all, good stuff. Everybody who spent a few minutes being worried about whether the door was going to blow in, we've all seen Dragon's Lair. We know how this works. And then of course the mine stuff. But then once we got into the combat as well, I mean, that you and the bull were both doing some serious work and just sort of blasting away. And the fairy fire was clutch. I mean, like fairy fire, I've always thought is a very underutilized spell and very underappreciated, but constantly having something that is got an advantage against when you can attack it is no joke. And the fact that you didn't lose concentration was also helpful for reasons we discussed. It was important. These things were rough, but you folks managed them, and you were a big part of that. Saber, how'd you feel? And also thank you, Saber, for your donation as well. That's very generous too. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the fine people find you next?
I've had a blast. I mean, we've had a few sessions now where we've been very roleplay heavy, which is great.
Yep.
But there's, a good old-fashioned dungeon crawl is always fun.
Yep.
and we're in it now. I
you
mean,
are.
our plan A was literally we're going to run away from this, right?
Until it was like claw, and you're like, God
And then it's
damn
like, waves, you blew the plan.
it was the claw. It wasn't.
But it was so good. Again, I got to try out sort of aspects of the Artificer class that I haven't tried before, like the Force Ballista instead of the Shield Toad we used last time. And there's a third one. I'm saving that for a special occasion, but you'll like it. You'll definitely like it. And yeah, being able to redeem my fairy fire after the crocodile when it's like, it goes under the water. I'm like, I should have used this a turn ago.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
that's, it's a solid spell considering that it's such an early one you can get. That is a huge advantage because giving everybody two attack rolls against everything in the area is massive. It's just you got to be careful not to hit your teammates because it works the other way around too. It doesn't discriminate.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And a few of you, I think, and also Silvo had to worry about that. About like, wait, if I hit this, well, I'll activate it over this, and like everyone's just like, it doesn't say enemies. Like, no, it says creatures. Really? You sure that it says that? So it was.
I was reading up the distinctions and like, does creature include players? And it's like, yes, it does. Right. I'll target that appropriately. But yeah, so very much looking forward to the next session as always because it's a great party. I love how everybody plays their characters. It's so entertaining and a lot of fun to just bounce off you all and play Morthwell the way I do, which I have a lot of fun with. So yeah. As for me, I'll be over on GOG.com's Twitch channel tomorrow doing the release stream for Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War, because that is an absolute stone cold classic RTS and I loved it. I played it a lot when it came out and looking forward to playing it tomorrow.
Very awesome. And thank you again, Saber, for everything. Awesome stuff. You should all watch Saber. Very entertaining streamer as well. Good stuff, Saber. And I will speak to you soon. And last but certainly not least, Pyron Jade, again, great stuff out of Waves. I love the idea that Waves was the first one to escape from the claw, just the bird that would not be denied, getting out of the claw thing. And then also, it is funny that you were at one point, I forget, it was like 2/3 of the way through a fight where you're just kind of like, I kind of regret that we came this way now. Like the whole bloop, bloop thing. It was just like, okay, bloop, bloop is what you meant. But nonetheless, I mean, Waves also did some serious damage, also, managed to keep them focused. Everyone pulled their weight in this fight, I thought. And so Waves was definitely a big part of that as well. But I can't wait to see Waves' reaction, like at our next session being like, like saying some like thing on the soundboard that is the equivalent of, from maybe Fish Called Wanda, like, I apologize unreservedly, something like that. How did you feel about today's session? And also thank you for your donation as well. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the fine people find you next?
I have 71 different things on my soundboard at this point in time, and I don't think sorry is one of them. I'll check later.
Excellent.
I'll check. I don't think I have a sorry. I'm just give me a quick. No, but I'll make sure to add one. Maybe I think I could use it. Yeah. So yeah, I love today's session and thank you that it was possible to be part of all of this. ArvCon is a really awesome event and I feel quite honored that I could be here and it's just wonderful. I don't know when the people will see me next. Saber has hinted at some amazing community multiplayer coming up in the next weeks. So several amazing community multiplayers. So I might be there. Off stream, I'm actually playing Caves of Lore, which came to GOG just this week and is a one dev project and it's seriously good. So yeah, that's a thing I play. I just wanted to mention this because like these small one dev games, they need a little bit attention. So Caves of Lore. I already liked Caves of Could, so maybe I don't know, but Caves of Lore is really good. So just pointing that out there. And so Saber's community multiplayer or our next RPG session on GOG.com.
That'll be the thing. Awesome, Pyron. Thank you. And to all of the players and all the donations and all the people who also shared their stories about people in their lives that were affected, that they lost to cancer or that they still know that are still with us but were affected by cancer. I hear all of those stories, and they're all part of the story of this event, the fact that we're trying to do something about it. So I want to thank all of these lovely people for being amazing. You will see them back on GOG with me next month, but for now I want to thank them for being a part of ArvCon and being the current leader in the clubhouse, as we say, for most money raised by any team. Chat, can we get some amazing love for Pyron Jade, for Darksaber2K, for Peripheral Mike, and for Inanda. Great work, players. A lot of fun tonight. I will see you folks soon. Bye.
Thank you
for
all.
now.
Take care.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Miss you. Love you. Bye.
All right. And that is going to do it for this session, but it is not, to be clear, not going to do it for ArvCon. Because we have more work to do. And in fact, I'm not going to say just getting started, but we have more work to do. Next up is going to be Shire Adventures. And so I'm going to go get that set up right now. We're running about 10 minutes behind, so I'm going to go get set up immediately as fast as I can. In the meantime, we have raised now $3,171.70 for Damon Runyon, which is wonderful. Let us please keep that up. I would love to see if we could be clear of like $3,250 by the time I come back and we're ready to start in about 10 to 15 minutes on the outside, and then get into Shire Adventures. Remember, after Shire Adventures, we have our concert tonight, and then after the concert, we have D&D with an epic battle to end all dragon battles, where we go against the community D&D team is going up against Dragon of Icespire Peak. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be amazing. Please, if you're heading out, spread the word. Please do donate to the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation. Spread the word. Let people know that we have got more D&D and more tabletop play to come, including Lord of the Rings role-playing, which is up next. Thank you to everyone who watched so far. Please continue to make that happen. And I will be back to you folks in about 10 to 15 as we continue with a little bit of Shire Adventures. Hold tight, and I will be back shortly.